時だってただ一人で胸忘れて生きてきたのに突然の光の中目が覚める真夜中に静かに出口に立って暗闇に光を追って今時が遅くなって不安にさせるだけかな願いを口にしたいだけさらそこにそう返すよきっとうまく来るよどんな時だってずっと二人でどんな時だってそばにいるから君という光と私を見つける真夜中にうるさい通りに入って運命
Why is Hades at the end of this?
Let's get to it.
That's easy, man.
Why? Answer me that. Why is Hades at the end of this trailer?
Because if you looked at the text when they came to them talking about Quadratum, that's basically like their version of the afterworld, or the afterlife almost. It's like a pocket. It's another dimension basically, separate from where they all have been, and that's why Strelitzia is there, because in the mobile game she gets killed way early, and Marluxia, his name, I forget what his name was, Larium, I think his name was in the game. He was looking for her, and that was like a main thing that led to the end of that game, was them trying to look for her, and no one knew where she went. And
so Sora is here too.
Sora is here too.
Sora there too, because
we know
he used the power awakening so much he had to. He didn't exist in his world anymore.
Mm-hmm. He lost his form in his own world. So you remember in Kingdom Hearts 3, there's a place called, what was it called? It's all the way kind of close to the end where like you had to walk around. There's all these multiple swords and everything like that, and you had to find versions of him. So yeah, and he like if you walk around, you can talk to these little star figures. Like you can't really see anything; they're just almost invisible. There's like one. It's called a nameless star. It actually has it has a female voice. And later on in Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, if you don't play, you ain't gotta play that game at all unless you want to just play a rhythm game. However, one of the final cutscenes for that game shows Riku talking to that same nameless star that Sora had talked to in Kingdom Hearts 3, and then he uses the power of waking to go to Quadratum, because that's where she's from. And apparently this nameless star is familiar with Yozora. Apparently Yozora's body is not in possession of Yozora. Like it's a lot of stuff going on from this realm that is crazy. It's crazy. And I think I don't know what the significance of it is, but I think the narrator of this trailer is the young Xehanort, the dude who voiced young Xehanort. Don't know if that has any implication of who the actual person is that they show at the end. But yeah, we know a lot of stuff. We've seen the secret ending for Kingdom Hearts 3 where the Master of Masters is there. We know Riku is on his way here. We know Sora's already there. We know Kairi wants to find a way to get there so she can help out too. And then we have these other elements of people. Strelitzia is there, which means way more than it probably means right now. Yeah, so whole bunch of stuff. But that's gonna be our new world. So I don't think we seeing Atlantica no more. I don't think we seeing I don't think we seeing Pooh no more. I do feel like with Hades though, it makes somewhat of sense because Hades, ruler of the underworld. If Donald and Goofy think Sora is dead, they probably want.
I don't think they're looking for. I don't think they're
looking for Sora
there.
Okay.
I don't think they was looking for him right there at that point.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I think Donald looking for his healing skills. So bitter. I'm still bitter.
Donald, without Donald, it wouldn't be no folk.
That's right.
Oh man,
That's right.
Get out of here, man.
You made yourself
Donald.
through it.
He literally used up all his magic at the end of 3. That literally why we got it.
Bro, in a cutscene, bro.
Zeta Flare, and he died. One of the best sacrifices. Oh, don't talk about it. All right, look. So
Donald trash. Man. I love Donald, but he trash. Y'all know he trash. Man. All
right. So Disney itself is still relevant in certain in the space here. We see the Disney that we grew up with, as far as like Donald and Goofy, the mainstays of the franchise. They always going to be. And then we also had Tears of Hades, but that was it. And mainly, most Kingdom Hearts games centralize around not only these characters, but the type of animated worlds that they come from. And in this trailer, we didn't see anything like again, with the tease of Star Wars being in the franchise now, I do think we may have some more realistic IPs that come in. Star Wars is a completely separate... It's time for him to sleep. That's right. It's time for him to sleep. We do have more realistic IPs, Star Wars, potentially Marvel. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's here. What's your overall impressions of the trailer? How y'all feel about that? What y'all think? Is it a 10 out of 10? 15 out of 15? What y'all say?
Yeah, Blue, you been quiet, Blue. Go ahead, man.
I mean, so I got a couple ideas, a couple of things. I feel like, I don't know, maybe we'll touch on it later with expectations and stuff, or just dreams and wishes, but I really love this trailer because it feels different from the rest. If you've watched the previous like trailers for Kingdom Hearts, it's always been kind of the same story, you know, hearts and good and evil. It's always been like that. I hate to say, but cliche type of thing with Kingdom Hearts. This eternal struggle with good and evil. But this just felt different. This didn't feel like it's just good and evil anymore. This felt like, oh no, we're gonna deal with some serious stuff. Like, it's not just good and evil anymore. Even the shading of the town of just Quadratum to me is gray.
Gray and nasty.
It's about to start getting into areas where it's like, it may not necessarily be evil, but it also might be the better decision in this case. Like, I just can't wait to see what happens. Because even the wording in the text was like, I think it said something like, the choice is now yours, or continue making the choice, or something like that. So it's like, are we going to start making decisions and different choices that affect these characters, like, severely? Because, like, maybe I'm jumping ahead of things a little bit, but in my mind, as long as you don't touch Donald and Goofy, everybody else can get the L.
Say it again.
Everybody else can die.
Yeah.
Everybody gotta die.
Yeah. Yes. And it's interesting because even from that alone, one of the last sentences that one of the persons in the black coat said was, even if you are able to, like, I guess, win here or something, you are never going back to where you came from. It's like it's like, oh snap! So is he stuck on this other side where it's like he can't even get back home now? So yeah, and I do think someone gonna catch a body. Like bodies will be caught in this game.
Well, look at that picture behind you, man. We need some bodies, man. We need some bodies to fall. I hate to be that guy. But we need a purge.
They go.
Yeah, I mean, all these folks down here, they all cop the L's. They all cop the L's.
I'm talking about up top. I know, like, three of them jokers up top. 3 of them jokers got a happy ending, or 6 of them jokers got a happy ending.
Roxas and them, they became nominated.
All them, they straight. So that's all those characters, let them ride out to the sunset. You know?
I don't even think it's finna deal with them anymore. I think that's like I said. I think that's over with.
That's good.
I think we'll take our active trio. We'll get our Riku. We get our Kairi. And we moving forward now.
I don't. Mickey in there. We can take.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. But like that's it. I feel like franchise-wise, we're gonna move away. Like, okay, I'll say this. All the other Kingdom Hearts so far, from presentation standpoints, have all always seemed like, oh, this is rated E10 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is always gonna look like a game that still has an entry level for kids. Mm-hmm. Now we're looking like we straight up in them T areas. Like, no, this for teenagers. This gonna be, the themes of this seem like it's gonna be a lot more heavier. And when you start dealing with more realistic IP where a loss is inevitable, I think you're just gonna have to move it up a little bit as far as like who they're gonna deal with. So yeah, Mickey Mouse and them can still be present, but it's gonna be grittier than what I think we're used to with this franchise.
Give me my Final Fantasy 15 moment. That may not be like super high as far as like Final Fantasy games I've played, but I'll never forget the moment when old girl, the queen, died.
Yeah.
I was
like for real.
Like she died. It was A for her.
She died.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this is we in it now. Give me that moment here.
Yeah.
You know what made that moment so good, Blue, is not only did it happen, it was permadeath, and then we got to see the fallout after. Remember they was on the train and we saw that the game didn't just keep going. It's like we was on the train and they were fighting each other. You know, Noctis was blaming people. Gladius was punching Noctis in the face. It was a fallout. Like, that was great. So, not saying that Kingdom Hearts has to go that route, but Kingdom Hearts, I feel like, needs to do something a little different. It needs to, just like with FF7, you know, FF7 didn't just do the same thing. You know, it did something different. So, yeah, I'm not saying that Sora has to choose, you know, Mass Effect style, you know, blue and red. Yeah. You die, you know. But, yeah, man, just morally gray. If we get into morally gray stuff, have some stakes. You know, and like Blue's point with this trailer, after KH3, Silk said it before, but I was with him. I was kind of like, I'm done with Kingdom Hearts. I'm good. And but the only reason why this trailer struck an interest into me, because it's nothing familiar. It's totally new. You know, it's not calling back. The words in this thing is your decision to start again, pretty much. And if you leave this world, you can never return to the one you're at. Something like that. I like that. That introduces the fact that, okay, your choices matter. It's just not power of friendship is gonna make a big keyblade and stitch it together. That's not what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, man.
And Sora's going through a lot, bro. Like, he's like, but some of the characters involved around him have gone through a ton too. Like, you think of Aqua, you think of Roxas, you think of Shion. Like, these characters, like Aqua. Like you think of how crazy their stuff got. And I mean, you literally have Dream Drop. This is where Sora's heart like breaks, and he doesn't become a Keyblade master pretty much because of that simple fact. And so many of those games have kind of like put that on him, that emotional weight on him. And now he's in a whole different place where he's not tied to any of that. I won't say emotional baggage. He probably still keeps it on him, but like, it's not in the forefront here. He got new responsibilities. He's obviously got a whole new town of people that he's willing to protect and everything like that. So yeah, I do think this distinguishes itself from what we've been so used to. Hence why it's a whole different arc and a whole nother jumping.
But that brings up another point though, Japan, man. Like, in the first Kingdom Hearts, what drove Sora was to get his friends back.
Yep.
Right? And pretty much throughout the whole trilogy, that's what he was trying to get his friends back. If his friends are back and he knows that he's now in this place that he can't return to where his friends are, what's his motive? What's his motivation? You know what I'm saying? Is it just to do good just because it's what you do? You know, I would like to see that. I would like to see what drives Sora in this game.
That was his ultimate sacrifice at the end of 3 was to save all y'all. I gotta go. Like, I gotta literally disappear. And so we'll see. All right, well, we talked about a trailer. I think everyone liked the trailer for the most part, if not immensely. No, I did. But this leads to development expectations, because I mean, no one expected this. I don't think any of us expected a Kingdom Hearts 4. Now there's the NVIDIA.
Not this soon. I knew they were going to continue it.
Right.
I didn't think it was going to be they have that much in soon.
Yeah.
Have that much.
So the game initially started development in Unreal 4, which Unreal Engine is super popular. It's been popular for years. They've moved on into their 5th version, and apparently it's very easy to shift things over from 4 to 5. Like, I read a lot of comments saying, "Oh, they could do that within like a week," basically with the tools that Unreal Engine has. We know when Kingdom Hearts 3 was originally in development, and when the whole Fabula Nova Crystallis thing was in development, we had Square-Enix trying to create their own video game engine called Luminous. Luminous was very tough to develop for. It was something that really couldn't get proper footing, and they struggled with that. They had to move KH3 from Luminous to Unreal 4, I want to say, and that's why it went through so much development hell. And like the last game that's probably going to be released on Luminous permanently is going to be Forspoken, as far as I know. Everything else, I think they've shifted over into Unreal, which, I mean, it just makes sense. But we think about how long it's been as far as like, the development times for, especially with Kingdom Hearts 3. That was the one that was like, oh God, this is taking forever. And a lot of people equate the development of KH3 from when KH2 started, but we know, like, if you really have been sticking with Kingdom Hearts, just because it has a number in the title does not necessarily mean that's the next sequel. Like, you probably missed like 3 sequels in between that. So I want to say, just like, for those who don't know, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 had multiple sequels before you got to Kingdom Hearts 3. So don't hold that all against KH3. But KH3 itself took like 5 years to get up off and running and actually come out. But with this game, I'm like, all right, if y'all got this much to show, even if it is just a vertical slice of this intro and that's in engine, I personally think 2024. What y'all think?
24.
I agree. 24.
Yeah.
December 24.
Yeah.
December 24? Okay. Because I truly believe since pandemic, 16 would have been out at the end of this year had they not pushed back Forspoken and 16. Go ahead.
When does Forspoken come out again?
I want to say October of this year.
October now.
Does 16 have a date too?
No.
Okay.
16, they said the next time they show it is when they like are pretty much ready for launch. They're gonna try and keep it as close to that as possible. So I think with Forspoken taking up the fall of this year, 23 is gonna belong to 16.
Yeah.
Which only makes sense. I think Kingdom Hearts will, if they surprise me, it'll be late 23, but I fully expect 24 at the earliest. But I don't think it's gonna take 5 years, guys. Like, I think this game is, I think we here. Like,
it feels different too, because I know you brought up that Nomura is like really heading this, and kind of. It also feels like, even when I was watching the trailer, this doesn't feel like we're throwing Disney, or Disney's taking a big portion of this, which was always my issue with 3. Even with the trailers, it was a whole lot of showing Disney characters and Disney situations than it was Sora and what his story was. This feels almost like it's disconnected from Disney. The only Disney stuff we get is Donald and Goofy.
At the end of all things, not mixed in or anything. Exactly. The tonal like storyline of this trailer for Sora was dark and like, there is problems happening right now. And then we get to the end with Donald and Goofy, and even that, it's them finding Hades, which ain't necessarily a comfortable walk in the park. So still, it's like, I do think, like you say, to your point, like, Nomura is super deep involved. Obviously he directed Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was not necessarily his plan initially. Before the game got announced, it got re-announced, and they said, "Yo, Nomura's directing." He's like, "What?" So, and he did amazing with that. But I think there were some co-directors on 7 who were doing good. I think Part 2 is in good hands. I ain't even gonna stress about that. And he's still a creative director somewhere on their team still. So we good with Remake, but this is his baby. Like, this is Kingdom Hearts has been this man's legacy at this point. And as much good as he's done, all right, I'm back. I was gonna say, as much good as I think he's done with the franchise by himself, I think Square is at a point where they've seen him do so much work with other franchises where they like let him do whatever. They're like, "Yo, run it." You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but is that a good thing? I'm be honest. I gotta be that guy. Is that a good thing?
That they let
Because
him run it.
no. I mean, because look. Oh man, I don't want to sound bad.
No, I understand.
It's okay.
I
It's
understand
okay.
what
It's
you're
okay.
saying.
This is
Final
not just big up
Fantasy
Kingdom
VII.
Hearts time. It's just
Going
whatever.
into the mind
Final
of
Fan-
Nomura is dangerous.
Yeah, he is
It's
awesome.
dangerous.
Let's not be hating on Nomura.
Yeah.
I will say this. I think out of all the things he's done, Remake is my favorite. And I don't know if that's because of him. And I don't know if that's because he had a body to work with. You see what I'm saying? Like, he had a structure there and he went crazy on that structure.
Well,
Because
it's
now
like
we on Kingdom Hearts, we see but that Kingdom Hearts do like this, boy. It's like it's
but
like this.
that's what. So it's with Nomura. It's kind of like, to me, Nomura is kind of like people that like all the Soulsborne game. Do you like it for the intricate story, or are you there for the relentless combat? You know what I mean? With Nomura, it's like people kind of like the convoluted but yet intelligent style
Yeah.
that he's mixing with. Per se, do you like the combat itself in KH3? You probably not. But liking people want to know. Some people like Kingdom Hearts because they want to know, how does the mobile game going to fit in a mainstream game? That's exactly what they're here for.
They like connecting
They like
the
that
pieces.
weird connection.
Yeah.
Every crumb, I need it. I need every crumb.
I enjoyed Final Fantasy. I really didn't care for Nomura. I didn't care for the story. I wanted to play 7 in next gen graphics. It just surprised me as the story went along. It was like, oh my god, I am getting Kingdom Hearts vibe.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think. But Remake wouldn't be what it was without Nomura. I give him that. I don't think it would have been what it was without Nomura. I think if Nomura wasn't there, we would literally just get an HD Final Fantasy VII. That's why.
But if you go all the way back to the beginning,
let's say that then. Would that diminish the game? Let's just say you got the exact same game as 7, except they just made it the way it was, but it didn't have none of the crazy. Would you still like it? Some people would like it.
I would still like it. I would still like it. But the thing is, if we took that to what we have, this is better. The Remake Nomura is better than just getting an HD. I feel.
However, if you look back if you read some of the previous original Final Fantasy stuff, like the original writer for the game, because Tetsuya Nomura was just the character designer for the most part. However, he did not want to. The writer wanted to. I think his name Naoki or something. He wanted way more characters to die, and Nomura was like, "You might not want to do that." And it took them like him and the president of the company, I think at this point, to like come together and be like, "Oh yeah, we should follow what Nomura's saying." And everybody loves 7 at this point. I ain't gonna say the man has made perfect decisions with every series that he's been a part of. He definitely can go a little head over heels, especially in the storytelling department. But I put him on the same pedestal as a Kojima. He has a vision. And within that vision, there is so many levels of passion involved that you can't help but be entranced by it. Like you talk to Brando, to your point, like you talk about Oda so much about like how he has fully developed One Piece and maintained that consistency. And that's a super rare talent, because to keep a franchise going that long and to have so many people so drawn to it, like that's what One Piece is. Kingdom Hearts to me, like from the outside looking in, because it simply has way too much length and way too many characters, but it means something to like everyone that reads it. And I think Kingdom Hearts is kind of like the same thing.
I can see that.
And on top of that, specifically with this game, we've made all these allusions to Versus 13, but let's be for real. Like Nomura did not make the Final Fantasy 15 game that he wanted to.
No, he
Versus 13.
Everybody know that. Everybody know Versus is the real.
That was the real Final Fantasy 15, and this man has not let that go. It's very obvious from the last scene of the Remod DLC with Yozora and him,
literally in the same,
literally the same shot
thing.
for shot
same
sequence,
shot, same car, same road,
fam.
same
So
lighting.
if Viren Rex was his initial attempt to just even wiggle that in,
Just
like,
to see what
I
it
still,
look like.
I still want to do this, and
Yeah,
now they're saying,
look,
okay, just put it in Kingdom Hearts 4, bro. Go ahead. I'm
When I
ready.
seen
I'm
that-
ready to see it.
When I seen that junk in a KH3, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
I was like, and of course, nobody around me understood my hype. I was like, what is this? What?
And put it in the Toy Story world of all places. Like, Viren Rex just in a man. Okay, so I do think from that development standpoint, like, this game is hopefully well along. I think Nomura is going to give it everything that it needs to be amazing. I do hope the Disney involvement, it's going to be there because these are Disney characters. Disney owns Sora them. Like, they can't just, like, Square-Enix can't just take that part and run with it. Yeah. But I do hope the implementations of hopefully Final Fantasy, hopefully other grown IPs all gets implemented very well. And I, from the tone of this trailer, I think they can do that. I don't know though. That's early on impressions.
I think we've finally gotten past. I love the cartoons. We love the classics.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move past that a little bit, man.
Yeah. We've been everywhere, and Disney owns so much now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Disney in and of itself has grown so much. Like, I wanna go off topic. But go watch Moon Knight if you ain't watched that mug. See where Disney at right now. See where Disney at right now.
Let me get my buttons right, bud. Let me fix my tie, bud.
Exactly. Like, you'll understand that Disney has grown just as a company from making, really kid-centered cartoons and stuff that we all love. We love the classics. To actual, like, real adult situations and grown-up stuff. Like, let's move over to that side of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just say Thanos, bro. I can't deal with this game. I don't know the potential of this game.
Up to the point where we doing our wish list for world.
We in the dreams now. We in the dreams. We in the dreams.
Can I say?
We in the dreams.
Infinity Keyblade.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. The stones in the Keyblade set into it. Ooh. And he don't even attack. He don't even swing. He just and that's what just power up.
Right. He form it. He grab it. He just.
Man.
How about this? I was trying to think about what some worlds I would want to see in 4, and of course Star Wars. Of course, so I'm not even gonna talk about that. Star Wars is gonna be awesome. It better be. I'm saying that it better. I'm sorry. Star Wars,
I have to have land and space and like inside the ship. I got to be inside the ship. I got to see Millennium Falcon. I got to see Death Star. You know what I'm saying? I want all the icons for sure.
Yeah. Actually, it can have two. Like the gunship can fly into the
pod racing. Pod racing.
You want boy? You want the whole thing?
Well, you better play Lego.
I'm hyped. Give it to me.
But how do y'all feel about this? I just thought about some things. And you ain't gotta like the movie, but what Avatar? Could we go to an Avatar world in KH4?
It's possible. I don't know how protective James Cameron is over his IP like that.
It's Disney's. It's Mickey Mouse owns it, bro.
That's true.
It's already.
And now, so apparently some of the there were restrictions with KH3 with like Pixar, as far as like the Frozen world. Like, there's a reason why they weren't able to go into the castle, and that's why we did that whole long ice maze thing. Is because they were so restrictive over like but that's the thing. Like, I hopefully these relationships are. I think Star Wars has a whole extended universe, bro. Marvel has whole extended universes and alternate universes. They love this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they'll be so shackled to like, our characters have to be presented just like this, and we can't see them do anything really violent. Like, nah, like I think we're dealing with IPs that really will let them go. And to be honest, y'all,
you choose the ones that are gonna let them go that way.
Yeah, like, and
that's where they're going.
Me too. I don't feel
That's
like
my
this
deal.
game is gonna have 16 different worlds from 16 different franchises.
Yeah.
Give me like 5 worlds from Star Wars and give me 5 worlds from Marvel or something like that, and pull another 5 from like singular franchise. I don't know, but like it don't have to be so diverse where like everything has to be different. I understand Disney wants to use it as a marketing game. And you really felt that at Kingdom Hearts 3 for the first half, where it's like this is all marketing for your latest movies.
I
But
almost didn't finish the game because of that stuff.
yeah,
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it was so bad. But
yeah.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. Avatar, I thought that'd be kind of neat. You know, you can have Blue Sword running around. I don't know. You can,
Or Sully.
and really, the only thing to your point, Japan man, like with the worlds, I don't need a lot as long as narratively they make sense. Like some things happen with the story. That's what I care about. So yeah, but I was thinking one place that I would like to go back to from a previous KH game, and it might not be anyone's favorite. It was just one of mine's. The Big Ben level, man, and maybe like the Lost World. I mean, the Never
for Peter
Land
Pan.
jump.
Oh.
Yeah, like because if you got the verticality now that we see in the trailers, you know him running up the buildings, flying around and jump. I think that could be really dope if they fully just took that idea and just, you know.
To your point, we've recently seen Disney revisit a lot of their main key franchises and make real life versions of them. We've had Lion King. We had, I think, Cinderella, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely had Beauty and Beast, and more recently we had Mulan, which actually played it to a really martial arts. Yeah, they definitely took some stuff away from it for sure. But yeah, I think if they wanted to do that, that's possible too. But I don't want to. We've already visited the superior versions of all those worlds. I want to say I do think Mulan only being in Kingdom Hearts 2 is underutilized. Same thing like with Tron. Tron actually got is shine in a lot of Kingdom Hearts games. I love Tron, so I want to see it come back again. So I really want anything Space Paranoids related to pop up here. But yeah, I don't.
Well, it's like with the new Disney animated stuff, you can't really. It's hard to do those, and the reason why is because in the old games it made sense. You went to a Hercules level. Oh, eventually I'm gonna fight Hades. You know, you go to Peter Pan level. Oh, eventually I'm gonna fight Captain Hook.
Yeah.
Disney don't have antagonists no more. They don't have bad guys no more because
the bad guys are good guys now. So
yeah, you gotta be ambiguous because you know they too afraid to make good and bad because you know everybody gotta be accepted.
Cruella, Maleficent, all of them have like good versions now.
Misunderstood. So that's what I'm saying. So you kind of gotta go. That's why we throw out Marvel. Yeah, you got Spider-Man. Oh, bet we know we about to fight Green Goblin. I will see Green Goblin RKO. You know, slam
through the floor. Through the floor.
I'm gonna slam sword through the floor like boom.
Yeah.
But
no way home review coming at some point in time somewhere.
And
anyway,
and Batman too.
Shameless plugs.
Do you think, just one question.
Yeah.
If we're digging for different ideas, this would really just be too much for me to bear because Disney owns it. Oh man.
Say it.
They went to y'all ain't thinking about what I'm thinking about. If we get like a Studio Ghibli themed world, bro, that would I would be so happy. Oh my gosh, bro. I would be so happy. Like a Spirited Away level, because Disney owns this. Oh my god, bro.
I didn't know that.
Miyazaki might be a little mad, but it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, he did. I mean, I'm not Ghibli. But a Spirited Away level, man. Oh my god.
That would be crazy.
That would be so dope.
That would be crazy.
Don't let Princess Mononoke pop up.
Ooh, boy, they ain't ready for that.
Those are themes that are they just go places. Like it's never just one note. It's not just a straight up kids movie. They go. It has depth to all those movies. You know what I'm saying? They're like genuinely sad. So like, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's my dream. My dream, even more so than Forget Avatar, bump that. Studio,
Mhm.
any studio, you can pick one. I don't care. Any one of them.
Obvious.
Mononoke, Kiki's Delivery Service, all of them. I don't care. Just give me one. Spirit Away would be dope though. Spirit Away would be dope. Or How's moving Castle, bro. Come on, man.
All right. For me personally, I mean, like the Star Wars stuff got me tweaking.
Yeah.
I've been dreaming about lightsaber keyblades for the longest. Ever since Disney bought the Star Wars franchise, it's been on my head. The Vader versus Sora fight, just you basically feel like that's what it is when you fight Xemnas, whether in the final remix version of KH or at the ending of KH2, where like all his little light beam sword type stuff. But a straight up lightsaber duel with a keyblade, it has to happen. I love Star Wars as a franchise. I don't know where they could go with this. Like, we can get back into the prequels with young Anakin or teenage Anakin or like, you know, pre-Vader Anakin. I love Darth Maul, so they can get Maul in there at some point. Just reference my boy. But if we only get Vader, cool. If we go past that and if we get Grogu, I'm satisfied. Like I just want to see it. You know what I'm saying? If we get a little bounty hunter in there, cool, let's do it. So yeah, man. But I'm super excited for Star Wars. If they do Avengers, it's gonna be MCU stuff, and I'm happy to get that too. You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever. But yeah, a Wakanda level, or you know, ooh, a Doctor Strange chilling with you. Little Doctor Strange say, "Yo, Sora, let me teach you the ways of the art."
Thor level,
Oh, the Thor level would go crazy.
a Thor level will be sick.
Fam.
Asgard.
And it fits into the world of like if you were trying to go for something brighter. Like,
yeah,
Thor is like perfect. You could brighten
it
up a lot with that because there's a lot of fantastical stuff there.
Ooh, drop me in New York City in Avengers 1. Let's fight the Chitauri around the city and just run up and down buildings. Ooh.
It's weird, dude. Like, I'm actually one of those guys that don't want to see a straight up Avengers level. I want them to pick a hero and you know what I'm saying?
I want that too. I like the more one-on-one focus, especially if it's like a Spider-Man or something like that. But at the same time, like the on your left moment. I mean, if we think about it, Kingdom Hearts 3 was MCU type level. So like everyone was there, everyone came back, everybody showed up for the final battle. So like, yeah, I don't know how you play it up. But again, like I said, they take it slow, do like 5 Marvel worlds, you deal with 5 different characters, and then y'all all come together at the end to fight Thanos. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
I mean, you think they're gonna use some of their newly acquired Fox properties?
It just depends.
I think it depends. I think it depends on what the movies do.
Yeah.
If the movies go to Fox, we might see Fox.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to see Fox, but you know.
I don't think it's gonna introduce anything that we have not seen yet.
Yeah.
Just because of how Kingdom Hearts so far has worked. But I'm down for some surprises. But yeah, with this world of fiction where they can really pull from like quote unquote real world element stuff, like, you know, that's why Quadratum kind of looks like Shibuya or like Tokyo, whatever Japanese sound that was.
It's just like Shibuya.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, we all was thinking is this not No More Heroes, but The World Ends With You. You know what I'm saying? Like, this looks just like that basically. And so like, yeah, like with that realistic aesthetic of them pulling from, I think they could do whatever they want to with these other realistic IPs to an extent.
Yeah, man. Give me alien level, man. Xenomorphs.
They not.
Nah,
They not ready.
Give me a Titanic level, man. When the ship get iceberg.
Stop. When you dream 2 dreams that are too big,
He gonna fall in that water again.
All right. So we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna just tell y'all, if you are a Kingdom Hearts fan, it's a good time. I know there's been a lot of ups and downs for some with this franchise. I understand it. Y'all have to understand. I'm a weirdo, so like I like this masochist franchise and all the little weird, quirky story stuff that I can't always remember, but I get super excited about whenever I catch up to it. But Kingdom Hearts is pretty much all here for you if you want to play this game or play this series and like really understand it. It is complex. I won't say it's overly complicated if you give it the time that it deserves. Now, if you check out at any point in time and you get off the train, you're gonna be confused. That's just how it is.
Get off of it now.
Lost Woods. You gonna be Lost Woods in Zelda, bro.
Yeah. It's gonna reset every time.
Just keep
You
resetting.
miss one entry, it's over for you.
Yeah.
Miss one.
But if y'all want, I mean, Square Enix is not paying us, but you know, you have the complete collection on everything. You even stream it on Switch. Don't ever do that, but you can. So you can play you can play 1, 2, the middle games, the interquels, the prequels, the sequels, all that.
You can watch some movies.
You can watch some cutscene. I encourage you actually, please watch some cutscenes if you don't want to play the games. You don't have to play all them games, man. I have never officially played Chains of Memories to completion. I probably never will.
I beat it.
You brave soul.
I did it.
But I played that mobile game I played that mobile game consistently. I can't wait till this Dark Road update because I'm gonna just tell y'all this. Your player character from the KHUX mobile game becomes Xehanort, dog. He becomes Xehanort at the end of the game. So you spend all this time playing this game, and at the end of it, you wake up as Xehanort, and he's like, I get these dreams of me being another person. And I was like, wait, I was him this whole time. So I'm gonna just leave y'all with that. Dark Road updates coming soon. If you download the KHUX mobile game app right now, you can watch all the cutscenes from the original game. It's not in the best of order. I would say just watch the long form YouTube video. Bruh, they don't make it easy for you to understand.
Bro, I don't understand anyway. He just said
it's so essential for this new art.
Yeah, it literally has been telling us about this stuff the whole game.
My
bro.
theories, when I saw that, so some of my theories like came true. Like I said, I know what the black box. I think I know what's in it.
What you think is about box?
What so it's a couple things that you have to remember. So like Nomura said, the whole light and darkness, he ended that then. Yeah. But 3 left some things open, and especially when they showed the cutscene with young Xehanort and I forgot the other guy's name. Remember they were playing that game, and right before it ended, he said,
Ericross.
This new game.
Yeah, at the end of 3, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things that I've always, just with the whole storyline, we know the Master of Masters, he's always been watching. He's always been watching. We realized that, like I said, if you didn't play Union Road or none of that the gaze in our Keyblade, he actually the eye on that tells the future. And he actually went back and gave it to Xehanort. And he actually watched him use it all that time. He actually watched him use it. And
that's why Zigbar or also Braig, that's why he's been around for so long. He's one of the original students of the Master of Masters, and that was his task. His name was Lushu. And Lushu's task was to watch the person who wielded that Keyblade. So he watched this whole thing. The whole Seeker of Darkness stuff.
The whole thing. Whole thing. So when you cut across, even when in KH2 and even in KH3, at significant parts of the storyline, the Master was always there. He was always there in the background, just standing, just watching. So at the end of KH3, that's when he gives O'Brien, he gives him back the black box now. Because whatever that is, I think the whole KH1 through 3, I think that's all was an experiment. Because in the original Union, when with the foretellers, he left and came back. I think my theory is, I think that the world that soars in, I think anything that dies in the world, it goes there. And I think that the Master of Masters actually went there in the beginning and came back. And I think this whole thing is an experiment. Is a whole what do I know? We don't really know.
Yeah.
What was telling was that the only person who kind of knows what's in the black box as well is Maleficent. That's why she
Mhm.
always wanted it.
That's why she hunted it the
That's
whole
why she
time in
hunted
Kingdom
it that
Hearts
whole
3.
time. She wants what's in that box.
Yeah.
So I like too that in the trailer where the movie calls this the Lost Master arc. I think that all the worlds and everything that's gonna be tied to it is gonna deal with things that people have lost and they accepted.
Mm-hmm.
I think that some of the words I think that's going to be in. I think Star Wars is going to be. It fits perfect because it deals with loss.
Yes.
It deals with loss. I think they teased it with Hades because he deals with the afterworld because the Hercules stories was dealing with loss.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all the worlds are going to deal with that. I think it's going to be a little bit more mature. Whatever Disney worlds they're going to add in there, it's going to deal with some sort of loss. Wherever the storyline clicks with it, it's going to deal with loss.
Yeah.
So I think that to me, what I think was in that black box, I think is like the catalyst or whatever. I think whatever that controls the Heartless completely or anything of that nature, I think that's what's in that box.
Mm.
Because to me, I think that the Master sent that Heartless to
Quadrado.
Yeah,
he introduced it to Quadrado.
I think he did. I think he actually did that. That's my theory.
Oof.
That's my theory with everything. That's like my theory. That's like, okay, I think I see where this is going.
Yeah.
Cause I was like Brandon. It was like for me, I was done with the whole thing, but I was always gonna stick around because I wanted to see those last little elements of everything. So that it's an interesting time, man. I'm really here for the story. I want to see where they're going and how they're going to add all this to it, and how you gonna keep the train going, man.
Brando, I see your face. I see your face. I see you dying inside. But look, let me just tell you.
No, I actually understood everything. I'm actually thinking because, like,
please treat this like One Piece as well. You ain't gotta put it on the same pedestal. You ain't gotta put it on the same pedestal.
The scene when the foretellers even came back because supposedly they all died off in the first one. Then they all came back looking for the master. So I'm like, okay, this is getting crazy.
Yeah,
this is getting stupid now.
And the thing, I think that the tough part about Kingdom Hearts is understanding, like for example, we mentioned One Piece. One Piece is a long story, but everything is going this way.
Yeah, it's always been going forward. Yeah,
it's going this way from the perspective of the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts, you got Sora's perspective, you got Roxas, you got this guy, you got Aqua, you got all these different people, and sometimes Sora starts here, while someone else starts back here, and you got different perspectives in different time periods, different events. You got a little bit of time travel. That's what makes it tough with Kingdom Hearts is the sequence of events.
Every time we move forward, there is 2 or 3 prequels that explain everything.
Yeah,
but in their explanations,
like little steps in between.
Yeah, but in their explanation, it's always still more that we still don't know about what happened prior to that. So you're engaged there if you want to be. A lot of people just say, I played Kingdom Hearts 1 and I played Kingdom Hearts 2. You have missed out on something crazy that happened in Kingdom Hearts Chains of Memories, and you have no idea why Roxas exists. Yeah. And then you spend the whole going to that game playing that. But then Kingdom Hearts 2 comes out, and then you go back to 358 over 2 days, one of the best games to me. And it tells this whole story about Roxas and why his joint was so powerful. By the time you get to Kingdom Hearts 2, you're like, oh my God, like this man. Yeah.
It makes
this man's story sucks. Like he's such a like his character has been broken so many times, so that's why it hurts so much for him to have that only week to play with his friends and to find out I'm not a real person.
And then you go past 2, Then you see Birth by Sleep.
Birth by
And
Sleep.
you like, oh
And you
my
like,
God,
who is them? Who is them?
Why he look the same? Why he look
Right.
Why he look
Is
the
that
same?
Ansem? Is that Ansem? It's like, nah. That's
Then,
Xehanort.
then too, if you didn't play Birth by Sleep and you played Final Mix Case and you fought the armor at the
Ooh,
graveyard,
lingering
you
sentiment?
have to
You ain't know
go
nothing
back
about him?
and you realize why he's there. He's like,
Yes.
oh my God.
Yes.
Golly.
And guess what, Brando? Then you play Birth by Sleep, and then it's like, all right, cool. We got the whole background now. We know Iroquois, you know what I'm saying?
Birth by Sleep, the only one I ain't touched. I ain't touched Birth.
You haven't played Birth by Sleep?
Nope, that's the only one I haven't.
Oh.
That's the one that
good.
That's required.
good.
That's big required.
That's
big required.
That's the only one I don't touch.
I will say this, like,
Chain of Memories, 357 over 2, all
yeah,
them crazy
like 358 over 2 works well, like how it is in the collection as a movie. Chains of Memories, like I only watch cutscenes, but I've read so much about it, I get it, but it took a while for that whole Castle Oblivion stuff to sink in. Birth by Sleep is essential. Dream Drop Distance is like the one that you can kind of waver on. It's fun, but storyline wise,
I'm sorry. That was the one.
Oh, Dream Drop Distance. Oh, okay.
It's Dream Drop Distance, the one I
okay. Dream Drop Distance is okay. I mean, it's a fun game, but like the story itself, it goes through a lot to basically tell you something very simple. But
right.
But at the end of it all, like I would say like 2.8. There was a reason why 2.8 existed with the whole story with Aqua, and then they went at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3. You started with 2.9 when he goes to Mount Olympus, and it's like, what the frick? Why is it 2.9? And then it actually turns into Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah,
all that stuff makes sense. All that stuff makes sense if you like really into the lore. But I was gonna say though, like with Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, which eventually became Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, which it is now. That is the earliest time point in Kingdom Hearts. So you really still have time to like get back and see, okay, who are these masters and who is the master of masters? There was a movie that happened. It came out with 2.8, but like the movie alone isn't enough, just like with anything with Kingdom Hearts. So, but I'm sure there are YouTube deep dives that can really get you up to speed. So like, don't fret.
That's the one everybody looks very European with the mask. And everything.
Yeah. So it looks like basically the master train what the foretellers.
The foretellers,
master anyway. The battle. But eventually the master disappeared. He completely disappeared.
Yes.
And they were searching for him.
He set them up.
Yeah.
He set them up. He gave them a book and said, "Yo, one person gets to look in this book and follow the rules of this book. And if you do this, all these prophecies basically will come true." However, what you learn at the end of all of this stuff is like, oh, it's some of the stuff that he took the pages out of, and these fools never really were going to do what he wanted them to do. The mobile game itself started off as a MMO on PCs in Japan. It was still kind of like how it is on the phone, but it was different. You learn that version is a data version of that world, and then they have a real version of that world. It gets super dumb Kingdom Hearts stuff.
Yeah,
it gets stupid. It's like more stupid than anything else. But the fact is that they told that story for like, I want to say 3 to 4 years. So you kept getting all these updates that like with these lore expositions and some of the worlds in that, like Wreck-It Ralph has a whole world in that game. Like, so it's cool for like the stuff that it introduces, but even more so than that, by the end of it, it's like all this Quadratum stuff was mentioned there. Like close to the end of that storyline, it all started coming to fruition there as far as like the box, who has it, and what the next like big intentions are. Like you find out there are beings that existed in a realm that they couldn't even fight them. And it's like, wait, where are y'all from? And it's like, oh, they're off in Quadratum. And the master's like, I think I'm gonna go there. So
I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, like it gets super weird.
And then he came back with the Gazing Eye Keyblade and gave it. Like, so it's like he's always went back there. Even what was that 3 where he was actually there and did the little heart shape?
That's what happened in the secret ending after the Yozora fight. Yeah.
So I got a question for y'all then, because this, with my next line of theory, why I think is now it's going to be a shift because I don't think there's no point in trying to actually get Kingdom Hearts. Like we
Right.
know, Xenomaster is a sad tale because
Mm-hmm.
basically the master tricked him
Yep.
to pursue that course, to do
Yes.
that so bad, like to get him going. Because like you said, at the end of Union, you wake up as Xehanort.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Mm-hmm.
you basically been played by him for the longest. We
Yep.
essentially, us as players have been played by him about 20 some years. So it's
And
like for me,
yeah,
I'm thinking like, what would be the point now of obtaining Kingdom Hearts now?
Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
Because we know no matter what, you're going to end up in Quadron anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the insinuating thing is that if you are significant in any part, you end up there.
Yeah.
You know, every time Master has left and disappeared, he's always go there and come back.
Yep.
So it's like, to me, that's interesting too. What I'm caring about the story, because I'm like, even though we know it's called Kingdom Hearts 4, there's really no point in trying to obtain that.
Yeah. Even
it's really no point anymore.
Something else that Union Cross revealed was that the other, like, so you know, you had your created character, but obviously everybody else did too. So when the world ended for them, literally all those Keyblade warriors that were around back then became the Dream Eaters, who you find in Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Drop Distance. Those actually are the ones that's there.
Yeah, so they're still relevant now. And then all of a sudden, it makes more sense why in Dream Drop Distance, Sora was like, these little creatures, I really like them, but there's something like so sad about them. It's like, yeah, because they all dead people, basically. So again, like this whole theme of loss and stuff has been kind of like ever present throughout Kingdom Hearts. Sora has always lost his friends and been trying to find them again and connect everybody back together. Sora's always been connected within his heart with other people who have lost a lot. So yeah, I think those things are definitely going to transfer.
I'm wondering, this is going to be my prediction. I think this is going to be about acceptance of your role. I'm thinking Sora stayed there, but I think he's kind of in a funk. Like he know what he's done, and he's just accepted it. Like, I'm here. I'm not going to come back. And it's like,
man, if we get an unoptimistic Sora, that's going to be crazy.
Like,
because you know, Sora's always the one who carries the torch.
He accepted his fate because, like you said, with the old chick, she's technically been there for eons,
long time. Yeah,
she died in the prequels and all of that stuff. So I think he's just living there. But I think whatever his plot is now, whatever his experiment, I think all that was an experiment because he comes back and tells Bragg, okay, but obviously we never know. The only people that we see that kind of know something is Bragg and Maleficent. Them like the only two people that kind of know what the master was up to.
Didn't Pete know what was in the one in the box?
He didn't know what was in it, but he was searching for it too on behalf of Maleficent. So
That's right.
And I think the only way, because it's amazing when I thought about it too. Everybody who's a major player, they had to die. If you ever notice. All of the organization, there was really humans that killed them, that basically experimented on themselves and killed themselves. Yeah. Sora didn't really get to where he was. He had to willfully sacrifice himself.
That's the whole reason why he has a nobody.
And you know, they never really explained why Maleficent came back, because you killed her in KH1.
In Kingdom Hearts 1, you kill her, and then in Kingdom Hearts 2, you see the crow come back and drop like her cloth with the fairy godmothers, and fairy godmothers like, oh, they're like, no, you can't say her name, because if you do, and then like by the time they do that, like she actually comes back. And again, the mobile game explains that, like, because there's some crazy time travel stuff that happens too. But time travel has been around since Birth by Sleep with young Xehanort and him trying to make all the 13 members of Organization 13 again. So your answers are out there. That's all I want to tell you. Like, your answers are out there.
Y'all gonna have acceptant, jaded Sora. We're gonna get Sora Strife.
I think so.
Strife.
and he shall finish the fight
I
with
think
Sephiroth.
he accepted
I mean-
his fate and like, I'm here now.
Well, that's kind of been the theme. At least when I look at like KH1, the big thing that was so cool to me at the end of that, you saw Kyrie, and that Joker just shoot. Like, you
Yes.
remember? And I was just like,
Bruh, you did,
he
yeah.
ended the game like that. So if they do the same thing, they do the same.
Sora has never, even though Sora's been the good guy, he's never gotten exactly what
He never won.
Well, you
He's
know,
never
never
won,
won.
bro.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
never
like,
won.
Like, he's done so much to help a lot of other people. A lot of other people have won because of his actions, but he
Might need help,
himself.
That's
Like,
why
never
this
won.
series is so good and sad, bro. Like, it's so sad. Like, this man, for no fault of his own, just being a kid and touching someone else's keyblade and like allowing Ventus to come into his heart. Like, technically, if you go back to the beginning with Birth by Sleep, Ventus was broken. He was a human who literally said, "Yo, I'm gonna take all your bad aspects and take them out of you. You're not supposed to do that." So he became like really, really, really positive, and Vanitas became super duper duper evil. And then Ventus connected with Sora's heart because his heart got broken, and like that's how this whole thing started between Sora and them. But still, like even with that, Sora's been the only one who's taken all of that on and tried to be a good person throughout everything, and has lost literally the most from everything.
Bruh, I
So
gotta.
if we dealing with loss, then
Yes.
in this game we already see Donald Goofy looking for Sora.
Yeah,
Could this game be, instead of at the end where Sora gets to Kyrie, then the land breaks apart?
No.
Could it be that with Donald and Goofy finally accepting that Sora is gone?
I believe that. I believe he's going to.
I would cry in a corner.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd do the same. I would do the
I
same.
would do. I believe that's going. I hope that happens. I hope
if they break up the trio,
reunite at the end, and he realizes that I can't.
That's it.
I gotta walk my own path. Ooh.
if he, because he be in Quadratum, he's like, I'm actually
Yes.
in the real world.
I'm at home.
You guys are fake. Oh! You guys aren't real anymore.
Like you said,
mean,
that's the land of fiction.
It's the land
My
of
other
fiction.
big brain too. What if the master realized that he's fake? What if he realized like we all gonna end up here anyway? Here we're just a video game character.
Yeah,
I mean,
because again, Yozora technically in Kingdom Hearts world is a video game character, bro.
That's what I'm
He's not a real person.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't.
That's
real.
why it was so crazy when we actually fought him, or like even saw him in the final cutscene. Was like, why is this nigga here? Because he not real. Like,
He's not even real.
He not real.
And they call Quadrant a land of fiction.
It's the land of fiction. So anything that's supposedly not real can
it
exist in that area. So that's why again Quadratum is so crazy. And I do think it's gonna be the central hub world because literally anything can happen in this realm or in this type of universe now. That's why you can again have this more realistic settings, because what used to be real for Sora was like, oh, Destiny Islands, cheerful music, pow fruit, and Disney worlds, literal Disney worlds, bro. And now he not in that no more. So again, I strongly, yes, yes, I definitely think like we are on some levels that are not touching the traditional Disney stuff that we are used to. If anything, it may be a duality.
Okay,
like
so I got a couple of big brain, outrageous remake type things because I thought about this during remake. I thought about this during remake.
It's this part of the video.
But this is crazy. This is crazy. I always thought that Sephiroth in remake was the Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth.
I knew it. I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say that.
Listen to me.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Listen to me. Listen to me now.
Oh my gosh.
We know that Sephiroth in remake he already knew that he was going to die. He already knew the plot line of 7. The 3 people who you fought in the last battle are all remnants of the previous game.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Those three. I think.
Oh no.
I think with Nomura, I think he's slick creating his multiverse. Not in no same sense as Marvel's trying to do, but I'm thinking he's connecting that Final Fantasy remake with his verses with KH. With KH. Do we know that this was his big brain play? No. But the thing that he started when he started introducing time travel in KH storyline, it got very, very interesting because it explained a lot where the Master was going. Because in the first one, they just thought he disappeared or died, but he kept coming back and forth. And the only time that we see that is either during the secret movies, we always saw him. We always saw him at the ending of 3, and now we see him again with that. He always comes back. Quite possibly, could he have talked with Sephiroth? Who knows? Oof. Could he have planned all of this? Because right now, I think he's using Sora right now. He's using, just like he used Xehanort, he's using Sora right now. He's just making things happen.
Yeah.
So when they say the Lost Master, it's like, I'm thinking like the only people who's looking for the Master is the foreteller. Sora's not looking for him.
Oh my God.
So I think Lost means something else, just like he said remake means something else. That's my that is my theory. Just like when Nomura said, you're gonna understand what I mean by remake. I think when they say the Lost Master, that word lost, it's gonna be something. It's gonna get interesting.
Go ahead, Brando. Go ahead, Brando.
It's gonna get interesting.
What is Yozura? What is he?
He is Noctis, bro.
No. Well, before we get there.
We get there. That's what I'm saying. Think about it.
What is he in the universe in which we first saw him? What is he?
Oh, let me think.
You talking about when we first saw him in Virum Rex?
And he's a what then? What is he?
A video game character.
What is he doing in this? What where we're at now in KH4?
Yeah.
Okay. You go there after you die.
Yeah.
Right? Sephiroth died. Saw that he was a video game character.
He was a video game character.
In FF7.
That's what I was saying.
Breaking the fourth wall, guys.
Went back. Changed it. Changed it. That's why he's acting different.
Exactly.
That's why when we see him in KH2 and KH1, that Sephiroth, bruh.
That's completely different Sephiroth from that.
Bruh,
That's definitely a different Sephiroth from K. And I think there have been theories about that in general. Like the KH1 Sephiroth you fight, I don't even think he talks to you if I can't remember.
No,
if
he does not talk.
He never said anything to you.
It's a match, and he literally disappears again.
Yeah.
When you do that. He talks to you in the second one.
Yeah.
But then Cloud comes in, and they go, and you never see them again. You never know what happened to them.
There's a reason why I said, what if it comes back around here?
He realizes that he is fake. He realized
Sephiroth, and because the thing is, his thing in a remake isn't just to get the meteor like he usually did.
Yeah. He's not trying to kill Cloud.
He's not trying to kill Cloud. He's trying to escape, bro.
He's trying to escape.
Yo, if Kingdom Hearts 4 says anything about 7 seconds, bro, I'm dying, son. Like, that's gonna be crazy.
But Big Brain, where did the Master whisper that in Sora's ear?
7 seconds, Sora. What will you do with it?
What do you do with it,
bro?
He'd be like,
this whole time we've been talking about Disney worlds and properties, bro. We haven't said if they're Square-Enix levels now. We haven't said if Sora's going to Midgard.
We never said that.
We never said if Sora's going to Insomnia.
Stop it. No.
Hey man.
He whispered that in Sora's ear. He talking about, I said this to somebody else long ago. He made a decision. He made a decision. I'm gonna give you the same. They said you got a choice. What if he gave him that choice? I can send you back. You know who you are now. I can send you back just like I sent Sephiroth.
I mean,
what did at the end of the trailer it say you never gonna go back to exactly where you came from. The Sephiroth that you get in remake is not the same Sephiroth that we've been dealing with this whole time, bro.
The first one
that version of Final Fantasy VII is not the Final Fantasy VII from 1997. That's the whole point of remake.
Yeah,
oh my God.
that's
Bro,
the whole point.
That's low key spooky, bro. And I love it. Oh my god, that is so good. That is so good.
That is big brain. That is big brain.
Oh my gosh, man.
Dude.
Yo, Kingdom Hearts can mean a lot more than just this, bro. Like that's the thing. Like it's a sneaky type of game because it's been so Disney focused for the longest. But the exact change was when Vero and Rex became a thing and was more than just that cutscene in Toy Story World. When Yozora Soji basically came on the scene and he was like, "Oh, you can remake Versus 13 and really get this off? Like they really gonna let this man do this?" Everything became possible at that point. And again, no more holds weight in Square Enix now because of the huge successes of his franchise, especially with 7 and it being so well right now. So I don't think what Silk is saying is crazy. Like I do think he can slide in some more stuff that can link his games together if you want.
Can I ask? You know, a lot of people complain that the third game didn't have a Sephiroth boss fight. Is it possible wasn't no boss fight because he was out here handling business in other places?
Bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Remake Sephiroth gonna be in this game. I completely stand by that.
Okay, let's do that then.
Remake Sephiroth is gonna be in this game.
Everything. What if this game you fighting?
Because
like, oh my God, this is the same one.
The Arbiter of Darkness, my guy. Everyone said it as soon as they got to that last section of Final Fantasy VII Remake. They said, "Nah, that's a Kingdom Hearts boss, bro. Why is that in here?" Everybody said that, fam. It's a whole Heartless, bro. It's a literal whole Heartless, bro.
Could what we see in Quadratum and stuff be at the same time its own story, but a setup to how Sephiroth got to where he is?
I believe it. I 100% believe it. I 100% believe it.
Because if we think about it too, not when we think about how Sora changes as he goes to worlds, it's not just Sora. We've seen a Heartless change when they're in different worlds.
They emulate everything,
It switches. So what if Sephiroth took some of the Heartless that were in Quadratum and he said, "Let me borrow you for a second real quick."
And what better way to do it than take it from a completely separate dimension? We're not even talking about parallel universes, nothing like that. We're talking about a video game character belonging in a video game, switching over to a realm.
Remember in KH1 when you meet all of the Final Fantasy characters, the only reason why they're in that town because their world was already destroyed by the Heartless. So they wasn't never in that town. Remember, they were in Traverse Town because supposed to be in their Pacific world. Where if you came from Final Fantasy VI, you were supposed to be there. You were stuck in that town because your world was already destroyed. That was the thing. So that's what I'm saying. You
know that it got destroyed because in Avid Children, it's the bad ending. Everyone died. Everything died.
The original 97 Final Fantasy VII is the bad ending. Red 13 runs off into the end and is like, and the world basically still.
The original. It's after the original. And so it's the bad ending. So
it's the bad ending, bro.
And guess what? Doesn't he have the Geostigma?
He comes in as Advent Children Cloud. Yeah, he so in KH1, he just has a Heartless, he has like the little devil wing or whatever and the taped up Buster Sword. In KH2, when you go back to Hollow Bastion, everything's been kind of, it isn't Radiant Guardian yet, it's like still Hollow Bastion. Everyone's Advent Children's time. So like he has the Cloudy Wolf emblem on the leather stuff, everything like that. And then they disappear, and then they just leave.
You never know what happened.
Fam, when you get to the Remind DLC in KH3, you see some Final Fantasy characters in 3D. They look great. Cloud is nowhere to be seen, bro. Still
not there. He's not there, bro. He's not there. He's not there. So like in Nomura's mind, he always kept everything separate. And the only reason these people were was in Twilight Town, was in all that, because their original place was destroyed. So they never were supposed to be connected like that anyway. So it's interesting that even with Sephiroth, the first time that we see him is that he's not in Twilight Town doing that. He's actually in a whole nother world as a freaking. He's just sitting there as a. So he just in the Coliseum just chilling. Look, it's like it doesn't make any sense why he was there in the first place.
If we walking around this town and Sora start having headaches, man, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind, bro. I'm just letting y'all know right now.
This stuff is freaky. Like, think about, I put Psycho Mantis up as a joke, but legitimately think about the first time you saw this, and Mans was telling you, "Oh, you played this game?" Because he was reading your stuff. Oh no, you realize no, you need to unplug your controller, and plug it into the second port to beat this man. Like that type of freaky stuff is amazing. And if Nomura heads to that, goes there, and he just brings everything together.
Between, like, okay, here's the thing. Remake took a long time to come to fruition, but it don't mean that tech demo that we saw when the PS3 reveal happened wasn't supposed to be remake. Like, they've been wanting to go back to this franchise for a long time. And they always had issues with wanting to present it the way they wanted to actually present it. Kingdom Hearts came out 20 years ago, right? So the franchise has been around and was introduced with Final Fantasy characters involved in tandem while Square-Enix is still making other games, and Final Fantasy VII was still a huge franchise even back then. So imagine if the master plan from Nomura has always been to link these games in some even superior way, and now they've just finally gotten to the point where it all will make sense if it happens now. Kingdom Hearts 2 was what, 2007? 2007 when they disappeared, bro, and he's never had any idea of them coming back together. And then we get Remake, which completely blows our minds with the theories about Sephiroth, blatantly just telling us, yo, this is the Advent Children Sephiroth who knows. He knows everything. Like, and why does he know all this stuff? Like, how has he been able to flip dimensions basically and stay alive this whole time?
I think KH2, Cloud, and Sephiroth fight. I think that is in the time span. That's like after this is original remake. That's the fight. I think that's the last point that we see them because they fade.
It could be either that or it could be one of the reasons why he gets sent to. I mean, I don't know.
What they
it's involved.
They fight.
Whatever it is, it's involved. That's what I'm saying. Like Sephiroth is that, bro.
It's
confirmation. What if they
confirmation.
got sent there? Because that's what we don't know from Rima. We don't know how. We know that Advent Children Sephiroth. We don't know how in the world. Where did he go after Advent Children to go back? We don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know how he got from Advent Children to Remake's universe. We don't understand that.
We don't know.
And this could be the key to that. Because he could went to Quadratum.
Figured out that he was a video game character.
Like I said, and the only thing that connects that in the Moors thing is that Quadrata is a land of fiction.
Land of fiction.
He's saying that in any world, including Final Fantasy world, in the Moors perspective, if you go from Kingdom Hearts land, from Disney worlds, even into Final Fantasy world, you end up there.
Yes.
You end
so
up
literally
there.
the realm of Disney, as we know, is fiction, right? It's not fact. It just exists because of some creative properties, right? However, in Sora's world, again, he comes from that. Like that's where he was born. Destiny Islands that all exist in that same realm.
Mhm.
In Quadratum, that's a land of fiction. So who's to say that when Sora gets to this world, he finds a shelf and video games are on it, and Kingdom Hearts is a game on it, bro?
Oh my god, it's gonna break him, bro.
he realizes, oh, I'm a video game character.
Toy Story all over again.
But Yozora again, like that version of Yozora that we see now. Granted, we don't that Yozora is not the actual Yozora, which again is a whole nother thing, right? But like the person who has that body and is emulating Yozora is in this world of Quadratum. So in his world, Viren Rex is the real world. You know what I'm saying?
That's real, yeah. Exactly.
You think he knocked this?
Bro.
If Noctis got the 15,
I'm telling you, this game is versus 13, bro.
Wait. These worlds are linked to Quadratum. Final Fantasy, Disney, all that stuff.
All of this.
Noctis died.
Yes. That could be him. That could be.
He's in Quadratum right now. Oh my god.
He could have went there.
Bro, he like, what you doing in my car? Like,
yes. What if he keep having no dreams? Like I don't. It's like I look like this Yozora, but I know that's not me. I
know that's not me
because his mannerisms are the
same. Because he said, and he says the same thing that Sora has said at the beginning of his game.
Can I ask the question? Is the people in the organization outfits, are they dead Final Fantasy characters?
Fam.
Could they have already realized?
I'm just telling you.
Realize, because
that Nomura is big brain.
Can come here. He said you can come here, but you ain't never gonna go back to that same.
You're never gonna go back. So how does a Sephiroth who's come from a movie go back into a video game world and tell the main character of that video game, "Hey, yo, bro, I killed you before, or you killed me, and I don't think we should go down that road again. But you only got 7 seconds to really decide if that's what you want to do or not." And Cloud has been getting mind bleeped that whole game and still doesn't understand what just happened. This Sephiroth knows everything, and it's like, oh, yeah, because he got sent there from a whole nother place because he could not go back to the original 97 Final Fantasy.
We haven't said one thing though, because remember, who else basically comes back at the end of Remake? What do they show at the end when they leave Midgard? Who else comes back? Because Sephiroth is
No.
And who else realized too? She realized too.
Aerith has died
before.
Aerith has died
before.
Exactly. What if all of them know?
This is the culmination, bro. This is the culmination. By the time we get to Remake Part 3, it's not going to be Remake Part 3. The name of that game is going to be something completely different, bro. That might be Final Fantasy 17, bro. That might be Final Fantasy 17, bro.
Is that why Aerith knows?
Fam.
Yes.
Is that why Remake isn't next?
Yes.
That's because Remake was on Remake in and of itself. We thought was Remake because you remade the game. No, it's a remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
It's a remake. It's a remake. Like it's complete remake. So we don't know how this game is going to end, bro.
All of them, all of them is remaking it because they left Quadrant. I'm telling you, it's something.
We see
he can play that.
This world is too powerful, bro.
If Aerith is there, if Sephiroth is there, bro, you can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise.
I'm gonna be so honest with you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Would this be like the first? If this does happen, would this be the first video game multiverse?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna tell you right now.
The Smash don't count. Smash.
Nah,
Just,
it don't count.
Yeah,
It don't count.
Smash.
We
It
all
don't
know
count.
they're like toys anyway.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. But if that happens, I'm gonna be so honest with you. That might be one of the greatest moments in video game history. Just for the sheer cultural significance. Imagine if they put an Easter egg in here where one of the Dragon Quest characters shows up, man. Just randomly. It's just the Easter egg. He just sitting somewhere for some reason.
Yeah.
for other Square Enix characters.
Because literally, yeah, that's the thing. Literally, any IP can exist in this land of fiction.
Yes.
That's what's crazy. That's why the world itself is OP, bro.
Because the reason why I'm saying this too, because I don't know on the newest Ratchet and Clank on PS5, it has an Easter egg like that.
Oh my god!
Basically, just y'all don't play with these spoilers. So the Lombax is time travel. So remember when I showed you the Keyblade on there?
Yes,
they got the Keyblade from Quadrana. It shows them that not only do they have that, they have the Sonic rings, they have the coins from Mario. So you go to the Lombax's home world, spoilers for anybody watching it, but if you play Ratchet and Clank and you listen to the audio, they have traveled in multiple video game worlds. And they describe them obviously due to licensing, but they describe how they went there, and they have artifacts. And basically, if you get enough of the currency there, unlock those. One is the Keyblade. 2 is the Sonic rings. The third one is the Zelda rubies, and the fourth one is the Mario coins. Is the Mario coins, and they're actually in game. Like I can show y'all a video of it, and that mess blew my mind. I'm like,
who's friends with Nomura?
Who's friends with him?
If I start seeing IPs outside of Square Enix show up in Quadratum, I'm losing my mind.
Yes.
If you see too
so
many,
but
you can see Lara Croft walking down the street. You can see Lara Croft walking down the street, bro.
Like I said, the Lombax basically traveled, and like they mentioned others, but they said we ain't even gonna tell y'all the others. You gotta wait for the sequel. I'm like, oh god. Like, what are you talking about? What? I like that. I was like, that is a Sonic ring. What is that? You gave me a Keyblade. Where did you get this from? I met this gentleman in this city that looked humanoid. I said, ooh. I was like, oh my god. So this
anything is possible, man.
We are in the time of the multiverse, bro. Yes. Like everything is multiverses.
I think he has the power to do that. He's been setting it up for a long time.
Yeah,
this is the perfect catalyst for it. This is perfect for it.
And what if Sora is the catalyst for people getting back? So Sora is like the gatekeeper, as it was.
Everything connects in that man's heart, bro.
Everything
connects to that man's heart, bro.
Because maybe that he's the Joker card. He's not supposed to be there. Like, that's what I'm saying? Like, but what if that Sora ability to send people back? He can't go back. But
he's never been back to where he was supposed to go.
Oh man, that's crazy, bro.
They didn't even show all the. If that's a hub world, who knows who can just be there?
So that's the thing. Indoor, it's a. They just show you clips of the forest, right? But like, it don't look like nothing that got anything to do with that city. So I feel like because people was like, oh, that could just be a city. That could just be a forest in Quadratum or something. No, fam. Like that's his own different thing. And they can portal anywhere or whatever. So that's whatever. But like,
does he jump into a VHS tape or TV? Like,
I don't know.
How's this gonna work?
I don't know.
If he does that, that's confirmation that these properties exist as they do in our world.
Yes.
As movies.
Yes.
Video. Oh man.
Yes.
Let's also think about it. Dang, we're going down a rabbit hole. Let's think about it.
We here now.
We're here now. All of the gummy ship stuff only existed on the Disney side of things, and on the Destiny Islands, all of that area.
Yeah.
Quadratum is completely different. Gummy ships are great. We love that stuff. I'd love to have my space stuff. But Quadratum is a different beast. He could be moving through these different properties into these different places a whole nother way.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Not the same. Not the same. Like he may have to just what if it's not like you said, it's not even a travel system like going to where it just may be you got to go in this store to pick up Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta go pick it up. And like, okay. Maybe that would because it was crazy how they showed that, then they showed him sleeping. Maybe he was just dreaming of that. That's what he just watched or something like that. Like it could be just as simple as that. It's like
But I think all this gonna end up being a big dream by Sora. He's a kid in our world just dreaming about this.
I mean, that would be the worst way to reveal it, but like
it would be totally believable.
They like with Kingdom Hearts. That's what I'm saying. Like with Union Cross, people played that first version of the MMO for like a year and some change, and then it came the revelation that this is just a data world, like KH coded. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't really technically matter. It's literally just a retelling of something, or it's a fake version of something. And then you get the actual real story, which you actually replay from the data stuff. Like you replay all of that, and then you get to a point where it actually gives you the first like cutscene with the title intro. Like, oh, now you've reached the actual Union Cross, and it's like, what? Like, so it's not impossible that they could just go and say, oh yeah, by the way, Sora's an actual real boy. Like, why does he look real in Quadratum, bro? Like, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
then we got to figure out.
I'm in legitimate shock right now.
Yeah.
Because if this stuff happens, I don't even know how I'd react to it.
I just needed to connect. I just need the Final Fantasy characters to get their shine and connect. Like that would do it for me alone. Go ahead.
So if the narrator of this trailer says this, so does he say this is a world of fiction?
He doesn't say it in this trailer. The Masters and Masters said it in Union Cross. And then when you look at the final cutscene from Melody and Memory, the fairy godmothers know about this place as well.
Yes.
So that means that they know this is a world of fiction. So if they exist here in this game, they know they're in a world of fiction. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, they're self-aware. They're self-aware.
They're self-aware.
There are certain people that are self-aware.
That we put a game disc in our consoles, they're now playing the video game that they're in.
Like Blues don't know why it's so perfect that he put Psycho Mantis up there, but like fam, stuff has broken the fourth wall of Kingdom Hearts before, and you just may not have realized it. But like I told you, at the end of Union Cross, you're fighting these beings that you can't even see in the game, but they're the ones who like they're beyond darkness. And it's like, wait, what? Like we've always thought there was like a version of darkness that you just have to defeat physically. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, they exist beyond this realm. It's like, how can they exist beyond this realm? What are you talking about?
And you don't get another hint of that to the end of 3 when they playing the game. And he said, no, let me show you another game. But then that's when the game stops. And then again, it's like the master. I think he knows that. He figured out that it's more than just light and darkness. It's more to that. It's more to that.
Yes.
And I think this is what this arc is going to be about. It's more than just like you thought like light and dark and Kingdom Hearts is now.
You thought Kingdom Hearts was the most important thing about Kingdom Hearts.
And only like the big boy, like you said, I saw that cutscene. Only Fairy Godmother. It's on certain people recognize like we know that we're self-aware that we are just this. There's something that exists beyond our world.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that exists, and like I said, it's only 2 people that show a crazy, I guess, a bad attitude toward it, and it was only Sephiroth and Maleficent. When both of them died, like especially Maleficent, once she died, and I think she went there. Once she became self-aware, she like, nah, I gotta get up out of here. I think she wants to get up out of there, like legit.
But she comes to the
Like in the
real
real
world and
world.
be like the real
Yeah.
Angelina
Yeah.
Jolie Maleficent or something. And just think about it, bro. Let's be for
Like, she
real.
didn't even care about her Sleeping Beauty in the world no more. You ever notice that? Like, she didn't care about that.
You've never
anymore.
gone back there. Like you
I'm
did
not
that
going
only in the
back
mobile
there.
game. You never gone back. But I was gonna say,
I'm
like,
going back there. Trying to get up out of
when
here.
you think of the naming appropriations for Kingdom Hearts, I can't now. I don't know if this is 100% accurate. We all into like speculation. However, when Kingdom Hearts got its special edition, it was called Final Remix. When KH2 got its special edition, it was Final Remix. When Kingdom Hearts 3 was getting advertised, it was Reconnect Kingdom Hearts. And then you get Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like these naming allusions all have RE in them like this. It's always been a thing that Nomura has been using for this franchise in particular, and now Final Fantasy VII. I don't think anything can be looked at as
he
like
did
coincidental.
Reconnect, Remake, and then the DLC was Remind. He
Remind,
always keep doing that.
yeah.
So it's like, okay, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
It's hugely big brain,
Yeah.
but he did that remake, and it's like it took you knew the beauty of it. You knew something was wrong, and I think all of us was like, this is not the same Sephiroth, but we kept playing anyway. Like this is they're too self-aware. Her especially. They're just too self-aware in here.
Yeah, can I ask, remind me please, is there any logical reason in just FF7, if we're just looking at FF7, is there any logical reason him and Aerith would be back knowing the stuff they know?
Heck no.
It shouldn't be. Because in their land, you should have just went to the live stream.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And
in
even
fact,
then in Advent Children,
exactly.
he only spoke to her because she was already in the live stream.
Yes.
So
but
once they went back to remake, and it's like, okay, he is Advent Children. He was just supposed to just be. How did he come back from there? And how do Aerith knows that she has died already? Like she was aware too.
And that's assuming that the live stream itself, there's no barriers of time with the live stream. You know, because in Advent Children, you know, Cloud still saw Aerith, he still saw Zack, visions of them, because they existed within the live stream. So if they went back to the live stream, we don't know if people in the past, if they connect to their live stream, and you know that future presence could just be in the circulation like this, and they can pick it up. That's the only thing. That's just assuming that that's what happened. If we just take in Final Fantasy VII,
but it's weird though, because like that's what I'm saying. That's what I was gonna say. They would have to not only just time travel, because it's more than just Cloud making it with Zack. It's like Zack becomes Cloud after Final Fantasy VII Remake in his universe, bro. He goes back to the church and doesn't see Aerith or whatever, but like we just assume he still picks up as Soldier and keeps going, and Cloud never becomes actual Soldier because he doesn't take on Zack's memory. But Aerith is aware of him. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the game, when they walked past each other, like they had that little moment where it was like, oh, she senses him. Like she knows, and we know this area of she can speak to the planet. She can hear the live stream. She does know by the end of the game, she's turning around telling you, yeah, Sephiroth is a virus. Like he is not supposed to be doing what he's supposed to be doing, what he's doing right now. Go ahead.
Can I, a couple of things real quick. Anybody that's been to Quadratum, do they still have a connection to Quadratum in some form? Or is it possible for them to have that connection?
They can't. I don't think they can exist in a whole nother universe properly, because that's why you have, like, if you look up the Nameless Star, she does not have a form. She's literally at the end of where she's supposed to be at in Kingdom Hearts 3, where all those that place is. It's not technically the Keyblade graveyard or whatever, but it's a version of just like a graveyard, pretty much. Where like after you die, you're like, I forget what they call it. It's like the end, basically, though. Like,
Yeah, we
that's
call
it.
it the end of the world. Man.
Yeah, it's like the end of the world, or the end of all things, or something like that. I think that's the name.
It's like your point before you get there, because they kept warning, like, if you keep doing this your last stop.
Yeah.
And remember, Sora asked, like, what are you doing? And she said, I'm waiting on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the story, like, I'm waiting on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But we found out you're Rosa, but obviously with Rosa, that's not the same. That Rosa who we find is not the same one.
Yeah.
Big Brain Brandon said that could be Noctis. So she's waiting for somebody who doesn't even exist anymore like that. So
yeah.
So could she be the Queen Girl?
Could she be Stella? Is that what you mean? Are you asking could she be Stella from Versus 13 with the red eyes? Stella Nox Florette? Is that what you asking?
No, Luna Freya.
Luna Freya?
Yeah.
Remember who Luna Freya was before she was Luna Freya, bro.
Stop.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is Versus 13, bro.
I asked the question.
This is what I'm looking for. And then when she whispered in his ear, he's just shocked because he know, like,
see,
that's Noctis right there. That's what she's waiting on.
That's Noctis.
I asked the question because what if the live stream, we already know that really only the significant people, when they die, they get the Quadratum. It's only important people. Sephiroth we would call important. Aerith we would call important. What if the live stream isn't actually a thing, and it's actually just a statement for Quadratum?
What is it? Yeah.
Hey, man.
Because it's never been fully defined as to what exactly it is. And it could just be, most people
that's super
that
big brand, but
exactly. But
But again, if you think of, go ahead.
The only thing I would say to that is, in FF7 they use the light string as energy, something tangible that they can use. That's the only thing I'll say about that. But I mean, dude. I mean,
it still revolves around that concept of death.
Either that. I'm saying either that or Sephiroth. He's like Agent Smith. He did something he wasn't supposed to, and like he's a virus. And he has done something. Just jacking up everything. So like,
I'll say this
before. We said this before in our previous thing with FF7. If Sephiroth could be messing up a lot of stuff, like because if he went to Quadratum, he's like, and he figured out what he's like, I'm about to mess up all this. He said he want to get the real world, Sephiroth.
Like you said, he can't exist in the same form, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same Sephiroth from 97.
Yeah. What if he did something that's just messing everything up right now, like Brando was saying? Like,
that's what he's trying to do, though.
Like, what if his existence, his pure existence in FF is ruining so much? Which
that's what Ariel was saying. She was like, "Yo, he does not belong here." Like, and then what happens when you cross over into the dimension that she opens it? Like, he opens it, y'all walk into it. You're in a completely different realm. Once you beat him, you walk outside of Midgard. But the people who are walking back into Midgard are Classic Zack and Classic Cloud. And they're going into a different Midgard. Even though they're looking at it and it shows the big cloud around it just dispersing and Zack sees that disappear, he still walks into it like, yeah, okay, cool.
And let's bring this full circle. In this trailer, this Heartless is forming. People are running and screaming. That's not supposed to be there.
They haven't seen that before. They haven't seen that before.
What the heck is going on? They've never seen it before.
The only person that knows it exists or that it's something that can be beaten is Sora. That's why he's running straight forward.
And
Strelitzia, she would know that too. That's it.
Yeah, and who's watching all of it? That's what I'm saying, man. Y'all better stop.
Who
do y'all think that other person in the hood is? We know one of them now. Who do you think the other person is?
I don't know, man. If it's Lusu, I would go crazy. Because he still was talking that funky stuff at the end of Remind, bro. He still was like the foretellers came back and saw him and was like, "Oh, so Lusu, is that you?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's me. We still got unfinished business, basically." And it's like, yeah. So like,
if we're going off of what Jill brought up about the box with the controller and the Heartless and everything, Are we saying the Heartless come from this
Yes.
world?
Yes.
Are we saying the
That's
Master
my
of
theory.
Masters is taking
Yes.
some lessons, or
Yes.
Sephiroth took some lessons? Somebody learning from somebody?
Yo,
Yes.
Because
Like-
we're moving
like-
there's
things.
never been a
like-
boss like that in
like-
Final Fantasy VII before
We're
ever,
moving
bro.
things between worlds.
There's never been a boss like that in Final Fantasy VII before. And guess what?
Exactly.
There also
Where
has
did
not
he
been
get that
bosses
from?
who called back to previous universal type things or whatever. Whereas in Kingdom Hearts, every world you go into, the Heartless adapt and adjust. Same thing for Nobodies or whatever like that. But then two, like you always are fighting figments of something. Like Sora has fought, he's fought like the lingering spirit, which was just a form of something that was related to Terra when he was Terra in Birth by Sleep, and it was just his suit of armor. You know, all this type of stuff. Or like, and you have multiple references like that throughout Kingdom Hearts, where those are like the type of bosses.
When you walk through that portal at the end of Remake, you're fighting nothing but Heartless.
Those are Heartless versions of the guys from Advent Children, bro.
Advent Children.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at
That's what I thought. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's literally called the Arbiter.
I'm not going to lie to you. It was crazy when I fought that last battle and I looked at the names of them. I said, "Oh my God, those are Advent Children characters right there."
Well, before I even got to that though, I'll be honest. I did pick that up. I was like, I can't be. But when you fight that big thing, I'm like, yo, that physically looks like a Heartless. It literally looks like a Heartless, and it was like.
Bro, I just looked it up. I just looked it up, bro. What the whispers were, bro. What's the whispers? The ghost in Final Fantasy VII, they just got hoods.
Wear the robes.
They just wear the hoods, bro. And when you first meet Ansem on Destiny Island, what he doing? He come to you in the cave. He just got the hood on. This so crazy, bro.
Let's just be real. We don't think that's the beauty of the Nomura. He has a way of connecting stuff together.
Yeah,
he
can do whatever he wants, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he gonna write it until it makes sense some type of way.
And like I said, with Nomura's mind, and we gotta think outside the box of each Final Fantasy thing being separate. Because Nomura, in his idea,
he connecting them. He connecting them.
He has the job when he had Kingdom Hearts. He has to connect Final Fantasy with Disney in the first place anyway. So all those games and Kingdom Hearts has to exist in the same universe.
And what I will say,
they added, and as Disney kept buying stuff, he has to keep adding. He has to make a storyline that adds up everything.
And the thing about it is 7 is limited, right? Like the characters that came, we had, but here's the thing though. You have Titus and Waka. And you have Yuna, Riku, and Pain all show up in Kingdom Hearts. Now, this is super big. If you know anything about the deepest lore of Final Fantasy X, the Faith, who made Titus and everything like that, are connected to Final Fantasy VII. Like that, those universes are linked.
Yes.
All of it. It's about death, bro. Yes. Shinra is in Final Fantasy X. But Yuna sends the Faith. Like when they die, she sends them to the far plane or whatever. So Titus is created from them. All that could be Kingdom Hearts related. We talked about the live stream already. That could be Kingdom Hearts related. And Fabula Nova Crystallis itself, which is 13, what was supposed to be Versus 13. What happens with Lightning, bro? What happens with Lightning at the end of 13? She crystallizes, right? Or whatever, like they don't see her. No, she goes away. You don't see her. And then after that, you have 13-2. Then you have Lightning returns with 13-3. All that involves folks dying, universes resetting. Lightning basically lives on Earth now. It gets really trippy. Versus 13, we knew was all supposed to be about insomnia, the god of death, and all that type of stuff too, though, right? All these elements play into this stuff. So if they bring it all back around Central Focus and Quadratum, it actually starts to make sense why these were the characters.
That's what I'm saying. He needs something to connect everything. As he gets more and more IPs and different things in there, he has to make. I get it. Why Kingdom Hearts had to go that crazy, because if it can't be just a simple, my name is Sora and I gotta find my friends and this guy's bad. Okay, bam, I gotta make a whole storyline. And if you're giving me Final Fantasy character with different protagonists from different parts of the world, you tell me, hey, I get to use them characters, but I gotta blend it in to my original story. I gotta connect their pieces, their lore into my lore.
And he still want to make the.
He still make.
Go ahead.
So the thing is, and to Sid's point, that makes sense because Kingdom Hearts has always been about interconnectivity. You know, it kind of made his own identification. It's like Goldrick the Grafted. You know, he just he just takes. Yeah. So man, I forgot what I was gonna say. It's gonna come back to me. I go.
I literally think.
Could the ghosts?
Oh yeah. I got it.
I'm gonna see the same thing.
So the game to look out for is 16. The game to look out to see, because I think 16 is dealing with the Nova Crystallis. I don't know if it's a crystal game, because we got different kind of Final Fantasies. We got the one about the crystals. We got the one that ain't about the crystals. So 16 is gonna be one to look out for. I
don't know. 16, I don't know if Nomura is really involved with that so much, because that's not Naoki Yoshida who did 14. So I don't know. Possibly. I was going to say my line of thinking was, I don't know what's going to happen first. I don't know if we're getting KH4 first or if we're getting Remake Part 2 first. That will determine for me what's going to happen and where stuff goes from there. Obviously, when KH4 comes out, and if none of this stuff relates, then none of it relates. But if KH4 comes out and it's heavy with FF stuff and it's before Remake Part 2, and the only reason I think it may be after is because Remake Part 2, I think, is still going to give us our open world experience. But I don't think the ending of Final Fantasy VII is going to be anything like the original ending of Final Fantasy VII. That's why they always saying like, yo, just come on this journey with us. It's going to be different. Like, you know, they just try to warm us up to that. And so I'll be really intrigued to see if we get some Sephiroth developments that happen in KH4 along with Cloud and maybe some other Final Fantasy characters. And then that transposes into Remake by the time you either get to Part 2 or Part 3.
What if the plot ghosts aren't actually plot ghosts, but rather they're the heroes from other FF games?
Oh.
What if one of them ghosts was Noctis trying to
do
stuff, bruh?
Hey, I told you at the end at the end of Kingdom Hearts UX, all those Keyblade warriors become the Dream Eaters, the same ones that you befriend in Dream Drop Distance. So he's already done that type of element before. It's not necessarily a foreign concept.
And that's not far to say, because he really loved Noctis. He loved Noctis. I don't see him letting Noctis just die and that's it. I don't want Noctis.
Noctis is one of the best Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah. And even if I know that 15 was just a shell of what it really could have been, I still enjoy it. I still liked it. Because it did something a lot, we ain't seen happen in Final Fantasy in a long time. It killed off our main dude. Everybody else is just kind of left to pick up the pieces after that or whatever. But it don't sit right with me that Noctis' story is kind of over. To be honest.
And the thing about it is, think about how 15 itself went. After they take Nomura off, they put Tabata on, right? Tabata does this thing. They have all these DLCs that are announced, and they have to stop the DLCs because they can't really finish it. They don't have the money for it. They don't think they want to do it. So they stop it before you get the extra developments that happen after the whole episode art and stuff. So Nomura lost out on doing the original Versus 13. He compromised on that, had to switch to 15, and Tabata took over. Nomura goes and does Remake. Just as much as he cares about Kingdom Hearts, he cares just as much, I would say, about Versus 13. That was going to be another franchise that he was really putting his hands into and that he handcrafted those characters from. So again, the fact that they are even letting him not even just reference it, but shot-to-shot remake the trailer for Kingdom Hearts of all things, to me, again, that speaks to something even even greater in Square's mind about what this game is going to be. Because they literally are letting him get away with a dead game. The game was dead. Versus 13 died. You see what I'm saying? Like, they allowing him to really remake it in this game. That's what's crazy.
And I really wish I would have said this in our initial, because we're in speculation, we're in theory. This kind of needs to be a separate video, to be honest. We need to cut it
definitely. I'm going to cut it off.
But I wish I would have. But the reason why I'm into KH4 is also because of Remake. Because Remake, the story stuff aside, is the best of Square-Enix. Mm-hmm. It took the best part of the turn-based, the best part of Kingdom Hearts, the best parts of all these other games, Dragon Quest. It's the best of the best battle system. So I'm hoping. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but the battle system gets borrows a little bit from the remake stuff. I would like that personally, but
at least from the stand, I mean, it may not. I do feel like Remake had the best battle system right then and there, and then when the Yuffie DLC came out, I was like, oh, they made this even better. So I do think going forward, they have to continue building off of that for these type of action RPGs that they're doing. Kingdom Hearts has this distinct feel, but it can grow from that too. Like it did become like not necessarily button mashy, but like once you knew your combat tricks and stuff, and like the little timers would pop up, you would transform, you would elevate again,
and
do your finisher, and that was it.
It became win buttons in Kingdom Hearts 3. I will say that.
Even on Proud Mode, the game was a cakewalk. Like it was not hard. The Remind DLC is the only thing that's actually difficult with Kingdom Hearts. Like you're not dying in anything unless you're just losing in a QTE, like at the end of the final battle with Xehanort or something like that. So I mean, I do think difficulty wise, they can definitely up it some for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping because Kingdom Hearts 3 was super easy. Very repetitive after a while. Didn't feel like you was getting stronger. It just felt like you was doing the same thing with a bigger health bar,
Yeah.
But man. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping it's good, man. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see, man.
All I can say is if they give Nomura the same opportunities they gave this guy here, where they just let him kind of run wild a little bit, especially after Remake, I trust him a whole lot more after Remake, because Remake was excellent. Even with it being as grandiose and as crazy as it was, it still all came together and made sense. So if Nomura's still on that wave, if he's still trying to make some stuff like that, and he just has freedom to do whatever, like Kojima does, it's gonna be a treat, man.
I just think before we end this off, like, because we've gone places that I have not thought of at all, but I'm super excited that we went to. Mm-hmm. If nothing else, Kingdom Hearts definitely has a strong connection with Final Fantasy VII. For sure. And I do strongly feel that there are reasons why we never got the payoff with those characters that we really wanted to get in Kingdom Hearts 3. And I'll say this. But y'all know. I sent these images out. The anniversary of Final Fantasy VII wasn't that long ago, but when it happened, Nomura released a artwork of Sora paying tribute to Final Fantasy VII Remake with Sora in Midgard, posing as Cloud.
That's where my theory started to go wild.
And then this year, Cloud Strife paid tribute to Kingdom Hearts for the 20th anniversary, and he's at Hollow Bastion. I ain't see no other artwork from any of the other franchises referencing this stuff like that. I do think there are deeper implications as why these games coexist the way they do, and why we have not seen the completion of Cloud versus Sephiroth, why Sephiroth and Remake is completely different from the ones that we've been used to. we got Leon, who is actually Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. This could be the new Dissidia, bro. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. This might be the new Dissidia, bro.
Where did he go?
Oh no, he's in Remind. He's back, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta check and see. He should be back.
But like I said, remember in Nomura's mind, all those worlds that we have played in 7 and 8 and 9, they exist. They're in their own separate thing, but they coincide with the Disney worlds. You know what I'm saying?
Did you find the picture, Brando?
I'm looking for it.
He can link that together. Like it's a big brain, and we went down a rabbit hole, but it can actually connect, and it's starting to make sense. Like legit. Like we gotta think like now, if he does go to the world, how does he do that in the city Atlanta fiction? How will he be able to do that now?
Yeah.
That's a big question. It's like, how will we be able to leave? How is he going to be able to leave now?
I think another thing that we should take notice of is how he treated the World Ends With You characters in Dream Drop Distance. Like, those characters are literally caught in between like a death-like state or whatever. And again, it's weird because it's like, if we transition to Quadratum, it looked like Shibuya, bro. Which again is a whole nother franchise that Nomura again treated like his baby that he made. World Ends With You. I think it's all connected. Where's this picture?
Let's see, dude. That's
Man,
that's crazy, man.
Crazy.
we
Crazy.
still
It's
understand.
crazy, but it makes sense.
We
And
understand
when we
nothing.
really, yes.
We understand nothing.
And if we really think about it, even though we thinking like this, he's actually been doing this for the past 20 years. He's always like as Brandon mentioned, that is the difficulty of it, because he keeps adding more parts to the story, but you have to go back now. Or you have to realize, oh my God, why is this character there? Then he makes a whole game explaining to you. You be like, oh my God, this is crazy. But it's like, imagine if he applies that to different IPs. He just did that with just this one Kingdom Hearts story. If he starts, if that actually gave him the okay to do that with Remake, like just, you know what, just add, he like, hey, I got a story how we can do Remake, and it's actually connect to my Kingdom Hearts franchise. Instead, how are you going to do this with this Sephiroth? I said, no, this is going to be my Sephiroth. I'm going to put my Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm going to put that one in Remake. I'm going to put that in Remake. I'm like,
and he could do that.
He could do that.
He could do that and not even say what it is because he made the characters. Like
he can't explain it to him. Like, no, I'm gonna take the character same, but they're not from this Final Fantasy that you know of. I'm going to put the ones from Kingdom Hearts in there. I'm going to incorporate that in there.
So we're gonna need Wreck-It Ralph, man, because you know Ralph knows what's up. He like,
and Ralph
video games.
They've done Wreck-It Ralph too, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
so what happened in that story? I
ain't going down that Greg for that rabbit hole with you right now, dog. You gotta download that K Hooks and look at them cutscenes, boy.
It gets too deep.
It gets deep because that's like real talk though. The Wreck-It Ralph world is like the last Disney world that you go to in that game before everything ends.
And that was the world too. And people would like that too, because that was the world too with Wreck-It Ralph. Remember, they recognize, they're self-aware that they're in a video game. They are self-aware.
And Wreck-It Ralph had video games from other franchises linking up in other video games from different franchises.
So that what people say is significant why he added that one as the last actual world you go to. Because it's all like,
and when you think of the concept of Scala ad Calum at the end of KH3, that whole world or whatever, still haven't really referenced and explored that. I think that's what Missing Link, the new mobile game, is going to explain. We ain't need to talk about that. But anyway, with that, like, you find out at the end of KHUX, one of the main new characters that they had revealed. The same dude that helps you at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 in that final fight against those big Heartless or whatever. His name is Ephemer. He becomes the founder, apparently, of that city. And you're like, wait, what? Like, why is that significant? But even on top of that, like, if you look at that world in KH3, it's just like a lot of parallel world. Like, you see one big town or whatever, but if you look out in the distances, like, it's repeated. And then if you go underneath, like in that final fight with Xehanort, when you're fighting him, there's a section where he pushes you underwater, and you see like the ruins of the previous version of that town, which came from the mobile game. It's all intertwined. It's all intertwined. Reconnect Kingdom Hearts, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
I added you on Discord, Brandon, so you can see the pictures I was talking about.
It's crazy, man. So that's what I'm saying. It's like it was a little crazy. I enjoyed the talk, but it's like it's possible. It sounds crazy because we're applying it with different IPs, but he actually been doing it for the longest. And it's like, hey, man, like Brandon was saying, man, he gave him the okay, and it remake went successful. And it's like, hey, it's like, you know, I can get I can slide my verses in now.
Mm-hmm. From the Square Enix side, this man is free. This man can do whatever he wants to do. The only thing that can hold him in check a little bit is Disney. So he said, you know what? By the time I get to the point where I know with Square Enix, I can do whatever I want to, I'm gonna go for the Disney franchises that I know will give me the most leg room to work with. That will let me be the most flexible that I want to be, instead of having to appeal to kids and go to Disney Worlds for franchises that just came out. I'm gonna go to the grown ones that allow me to. Comic books have always allowed for variation. Mm-hmm. Star Wars has always allowed for variation.
So it's crazy that the first thing that you're going to show me, you're going to tease Star Wars. So it's like you're setting the tone. Like, okay, the first one I'm going to tease before I show that this is Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna tease this. We going live action right here. We ain't going no. We ain't doing Star Wars Rebels. We going straight to the trilogies.
To go back to Bluish's big old Final Fantasy VII theory to end this all the way off. What if at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and you trying to fight Sephiroth, and instead of it being where Sephiroth, you know, because the Sephiroth version that we thought, you know, he been stuck in the crystal. Maybe that's the good version of Sephiroth still, and that's Jenova that's controlling. I think if you actually research it, like, it's legit Sephiroth has killed off the Jenova portion of him and knows that he's Sephiroth and is the bad, evil Sephiroth. So I don't think there's a good Sephiroth. Imagine if they shoehorn Cloud and Zack and they put Sora somewhere in this fight.
Right.
And they put Noctis in this fight. Or they just fight Sephiroth in different games and it's all the same final boss fight.
It's going to be a Keyblade weapon. Like, it's going to be... Like, they dropped that in there.
They got to lock Sephiroth away, bro. They got to lock Sephiroth away, bro.
I don't know. I forget who brought it up. But like you said, Sora is the Joker. If we're saying that Sora is like the Joker of this universe, of this world, what if Sora is the one that allows this connection to happen? Sora opens the door.
I'm saying, man, it could be that when Sora sends, when he seals Sephiroth in KH4 after that final battle between Cloud and Sephiroth here, he seals him and throws him back into the Final Fantasy VII universe. But since Sephiroth can't go back to 97, he's going to this remake universe, and that's how he gets it. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, because
doesn't that make sense?
Same place. You can't go back to the same place.
You can't go back to the same place.
Can't go back. That's why I said too with Maleficent, she never went back. When she left, that's what I'm saying. Once Maleficent died and came back, she couldn't go back to where she's from. You can't go back. You can't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, you can't go back.
See, it's simple and clean. Look, it's so simple.
So Kingdom Hearts and Quadratum explains the background, or like the behind the scenes of all of Nomura's games, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
And Sora, like to Blue's point, Sora is the link between all his games.
He's a link between two worlds.
What is that? What if Quadron is like that? Is where that's his mind. That's where all his ideas come from. And it's like, okay, I'm just going.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Eurosa with the whole verses is like that's
one more question.
Go.
We're here.
We so here now.
Because I feel like we talking about. I'm trying to stay low because people sleep.
Yeah.
But I feel like we talking about all this stuff. We need to zero in on Sora. Sora is sus, right? He's sus for a lot of reasons. If you really zoom out, look at his character, what he has done. How we first introduced to Sora, he's on some island. You know, I just feel like, for some reason, this is the total theory is baseless. Doesn't have no roots into nothing.
I think
what if this is where he's supposed to be? You know what I'm saying? Because it's just he's you know what I'm saying? Because all this stuff happened because this fate is that would y'all say that's a theme of Kingdom Hearts? Fate or destiny?
Destiny.
Stop. What did Sephiroth say at the end of Remake? I will
do it.
and I quote.
What's the name of the island?
That's the islands, bro.
That's
what I was. That's the islands.
This is the. Remember, you fight the edge of creation. This is what Sephiroth says. He asks you to defy destiny with him. He recognizes that. Well, let me say.
Is he trying to stop the creation of Sora, bro? He
says to Cloud. He said our world will become a part of this just at the end. He said one day, but he said, but for me, I will not end. He doesn't want to die. He know, like that's when we realize in the game he recognizes
it's bigger than Final Fantasy VII, bro.
He knows the end of Final Fantasy VII. He already knows that, so he wants Cloud defy destiny with me. I know the ending to our storyline.
That's why he don't want to fight Cloud. Like,
fight you.
But that's the thing though. Like going back to Sora though, Sora is weird to me because he's out, and I make a joke. The Sora is always asleep, and when he wake up, he's in a different situation most of the time. Like we see him go to sleep at the end of KH1, woke up in KH2. You know what I'm saying? And then a whole bunch of games before that. We had things like birth by sleep.
The power of waking.
The power of waking. This is on some dream level stuff. That's what I'm saying. Sora
dream drop distance.
Stop it. Stop.
Think about 15 though. Think about 15. Insomnia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine
the city that we never got to see.
What does have to do to get his full power? He had to sleep.
Yes,
sir. Imagine if this whole story, because you know Nomura's heard it all. You know he's heard, Kingdom Hearts is so convoluted, it's so complicated. Imagine if this is Nomura's way of saying, Sora was always supposed to be here. But all of these adventures that you've seen and all of these different convoluted and crazy stuff is really just to protect Sora. Because when you think about it, Sora gets really lucky a lot. There's a lot of things that should not happen. There's a lot of people that have connections and stuff, but why was he the one Heartless that was able to find Kairi? Why was he the one that was like super conscious and able to be like, all right, I get to Kairi, I'm not really gonna attack her. She'll know it's me. How does he know that? Or how does he get in that situation? Like, what if it's convoluted because he was always supposed to be there and nothing was gonna stop that? And it's just like the adventures and stuff was really just to get him here.
My question.
I got another blue. It's the fact that let's take take Lion King, right? We all watch Lion King. We watch Little Mermaid. We watch all these Disney things. We're not asking the question is why is it okay that Sora can just go into these lands? You know what I'm saying? We see him do it,
Yeah.
but what does that imply? You know what I'm saying? Sora doesn't even question it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what is he?
Well, so here's my thing that always, when I first started thinking, not necessarily that Sora is sus, but that it was something weird about him is when you play Birth by Sleep and they reveal Vanitas' face and it's Sora. And you're like, wait, Sora was a kid. Like he wasn't even a whole adult. So how do you look just like Sora?
Exactly.
Wait. What did Sephiroth say? You got 7 seconds, right?
Yes.
What did Homegirl tell Sora when he was sleeping? You've been asleep.
You've been asleep for 7 days.
What if Sora was always there? He's always been there.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yo. Hey, Rock 35, was it 358? Over how many days?
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing with all of Nomura's things. Everybody's always played sleep and thinking they're somebody else. Even in Union, you played that whole thing to find out that was Xehanort. Yeah. And then you wake up, and then at the end, Xehanort's like, it's like I've been having this.
Yeah, because
else. Urosa does the same thing.
Yes.
Sora does the same thing. All those characters always dream, and they wake up and like, I was someplace else where I ain't supposed to be in.
Cloud fell asleep too. I just want y'all to know that. Cloud fell asleep too.
Cloud fell asleep too.
Noctis, Zora,
yeah,
waking up in that car.
Yeah.
Waking up in that car. It's just something.
Too many coincidences for this just to be random.
Final Fantasy VII.
It's not possible.
Look at that picture behind Miguel. I'm trying to figure out why they arranged that way. Not even in sequential order.
It's not.
3, 4, 1, 2. Why would you put 3, 4, 1, 2? What's significance of 3, 4?
I don't know, man. That's how you get lost in the sauce, bro.
That's
how you get lost.
Because why can't he just do 1, 2, 3, 4?
What if it's a loop? What if it's a loop? What?
Yeah.
It's
at the end of 4, he could wake up on Destiny Island and start all over.
Yeah. Like,
or you know what? Like my theory is like, what if instead of it being Sora, it's Cloud starting off as Sora of Kingdom Hearts or something weird like that, where like one of Nomura's other characters,
or it's a brand new Sora.
For that,
he has nothing to do with those other Soras. He's a brand new Sora, and he realizes that there's other versions of himself in these video games.
I mean, he's already had other versions of himself within Kingdom Hearts.
What if that? Oh my God! What if 1, 2, and 3 was never him? What if that's always been him?
If Nominate kept him in a pod, and that's a whole nother clone, bro. Because there are Data remakes. Riku had a whole Data remake, bro.
Yes. And what if 1, 2, and 3 are Data remakes?
And you said it earlier. They've never seen that Heartless in that world, but Sora knows.
Yeah.
He knows it. What if that? And Sora wants to go back, and Master telling him, no, if I take you can never go back there.
Yeah.
Those I took your data and just analyzing you.
At the end of this game, they could send a Sora back, but it's not gonna be the real Sora.
Yeah, you won't be the real Sora. This all, like you said, this always been you. You've lived here your whole life. You've been dreaming 1, 2, and I've been using your data. That's video game.
That's why he got regular shoes, bro.
That's why he got regular shoes. What if the clown shoe? None of that was just exaggeration.
Goofy, I told you at the end of it is him letting go of Goofy and Donald because he realized, y'all not real.
Y'all are fake.
Y'all are fake.
Characters.
It's like we have to. Like we love y'all, but we
Yeah.
know that
We gotta leave y'all. We gotta turn the game off sometimes.
Yeah.
What if he has to turn the game off? What if
Bro.
that's what it is? Like,
And then his
And it-
universe is the realities of the other creations of Nomura, who are Cloud Strife, who are Noctis. You know what I'm saying?
but he has the ability to summon his Keyblade still. What does that mean?
That's a good point.
ooh, that's a good point.
That's a good point.
I think he
That's a
was
good
meant
point.
to be. I think he was meant to be the bridge, man. The bridge
I
between
think so
these
too.
worlds.
He's a key. He's a key guy.
But
It's
if
his
that's
whole
the case,
ability.
was that
No.
the case?
It's the
I
whole
said,
foundation of which
what-
Kingdom Hearts is
what-
built
yeah.
on.
What if the master lived in there too? What if he's related to Sora? And
We
he's
never
just-
seen Sora's dad. We never seen Sora's mom either.
Never seen none of their parents. You remember that's odd. Like
Master,
you never.
it's no more. It's no more.
Yeah.
It could be.
I'm 100%.
what
In some
if
form or fashion, Nomura will appear in this game. I think that.
What if that's him? They never reveal his face, but it's gonna kind of insinuate that is he. That's actually him in the game.
Yeah, in the game.
He's just manipulating it, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what if he's a residence?
I am Sora's mom.
What if he's like a resident of there and had just been playing around with this fictional stuff, and like, oh my god, and you know, sci-fi, right? And like, I can actually bring this to our world. I can actually create this mess, and like, Sora may liked it too well. Like, dude, I gotta take you out. I gotta jack you up out of there and bring you back to the real world. But it's like his mind too gone. It's like I keep having dreams of adventures. What if that?
They all have
hospital
dreams and
bed.
visions, bro.
The
They all
hospital
have
bed.
dreams and visions, bro. Cloud, as soon as remake starts, he start having vision. Like Sora they go to what is it called when you do the deep dive and you wake up on the little pedestal? I forget the name of it. But there's a name for that, which I think has something to do with sleep too. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's on with sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I think these franchises are linked for a reason. Final Fantasy VII is the seventh game. Roxas had a week in the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like crazy.
Happening,
It's
man?
great.
There's too many coincidences.
That's like crazy,
It
bro.
is. Oh my god, it's too big. It is entirely too big. Oh we.
Say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Utada better come with some heat this time.
For
He better
sure.
come with some heat. That KH3 stuff, nah, man. We don't recognize that. Nah. That was whack. I ain't gonna lie. I'm be the one to say that song ain't not that good. But that's
Yeah,
it. That's all I want to say.
she could do her thing. We'll see. For me, it's always when you first turn on a KH game and you hear that dearly beloved selection, whichever version they're gonna do for that. I have no idea what to expect from. Like, as many theories as I can throw out, like, I have a million more that keep bubbling up. I want this to be the multiverse game. I want this to be the hidden Trojan horse. Nomura gets back at everybody game.
I want, like I said, I wanted this a new arc. I wanted it to be like a self-aware multiverse, or as we just said, like we realized that it has to be the biggest.
Noctis. I don't know
we
who
spent
all the
20
Lost
years
Masters
playing
are.
Something that was fake. I mean, we spent 20 years to play fiction.
Yeah.
You realize, like, oh my god, that was really. This is the real Sora. Like, we never knew Sora until now. Like,
So you highlighted that Lost Master could be like, you know, a play on a word like remake was. We could be thinking in the sense of, like, you know, obviously the obvious choice is the Master of Masters or whatever, but Lost Masters could be the person literally could have been just a person of high ranking position. Noctis was basically about to become the king before his dad got killed, and then he was actually the Regent King, right? Like, he could technically be a lost master in that sense. He died. He was lost, as in he died. But he still was a person of superior power, whatever. And it could be other people that we could reference in that type of same vein. Like even if you think of I'll even go as far as to say like an Anakin Skywalker or something like that. Like you lost to the dark side, you became Darth Vader. You could be technically a lost Jedi Master. Like, fam, there are ways that this can play that are not just so obvious when you think about it. So I don't know. I can
just say from Nomura, there's a very low chance you ever see this video, but brother, if you pull this off, you will go down in history, my guy.
Yeah. This bigger than Kojima to me. Like this way bigger than Kojima.
This is a monumental moment.
It takes work, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Kojima, just that one franchise that you can.
With Metal Gear, yeah.
It's like
don't nothing make me sweat like this, bro. Like that's the thing. Like it's I don't know what to expect by the time this game comes out. It could be whatever it wants to be, but this right here is fun. Like I enjoy.
Yeah, anything that can make me. Yeah.
But my mind has been blown like literally like 15 times tonight. Like nah,
it's like
that's like crazy.
Even if it doesn't happen, this conversation was amazing.
I might have been blown so many times. This is blown blanks right now.
Yeah, I'm out of gas for sure. Yeah.
All
right, y'all. This was fun. This was amazing. I appreciate y'all for hopping on, staying with me to the late night talking about Cage 4. It was well worth it. We hope y'all enjoyed. This will be a part 2 of this video, basically. So we're gonna go back and probably splice another ending in for that one. But anyway, we appreciate y'all if y'all stuck around for this whole speculation session. Go ahead and speculate with your friends. Put some speculations up in the comments, man. This is the fun part of Kingdom Hearts. This is the fun part of Kingdom Hearts, man. Yeah. Once we get the game, we'll all suffer together and see what Nomura actually tortures us with. But right now, y'all have fun. And next time, we'll do something else. We got a lot of deep dives we could be doing. 13 Sentinels. I ain't gonna talk about it no more until we actually do it. But we got a lot of deep dives that we could do. We got a lot of content that we can still get popping. We have not died as a channel yet, so y'all be patient with us. Out to you. Anything you fellas want to say before we sign off? Y'all good.
My mind blown. Mind blown.
Your mind was blown. Hit that like button.